Hello, everybody. It's DavidOman coming to you from the Oman house. That's all the water I got? What the fuck is this? Who the hell forgot to give me a glass of water full? Terrible service. You can never count on a ghost. It's one of the most difficult parts of living in a haunted house. You see, living in a haunted house means you have to live with ghosts. Sometimes I come down to visit. My name is Alfred Hitchcock. Indeed. Strange residence indeed. This better be vodka. Damn, it's water. I see PJ is with us, and Rustic, and Mr. Pad saying hello, fam. Here at our house, the family plot is when you say the word fam. That's what it conjures in my head, indeed. Oh, it feels rather warm. Maybe I should put on the air conditioning. Excuse me. It seems to be colder outside than in the house. Perhaps I should open a window. Excuse me. Oh my dear Lord, I'm so sorry, fishies. I didn't have to, tonight you didn't have to disconnect the fish filter because the filter's still disconnected from last night to the very chagrin of the fish. Indubitably, he forgot to plug the fish filter in, so he didn't have to do it again today. To the disgrace of the fish, they died. It is so hot. It is so hot in this house. I can't believe it. It is so incredibly hot. Summer's with us here, and it's quite distressing. Everybody seems to feel just a little put out. What have we got? Yes. Rustic, yes. LA vlog, nice to see you. Now, I need you all to do Mr. Oman a favor. That would be to promote the upcoming event tomorrow night. It seems that there's such of a serious issue of people finding the correct link to get the live stream. We'd like to make sure that you follow the link that's in the description. Thereby, you can venture tomorrow night to be here with us for that event of the utmost order. To think I just took a bath to come out and be perspired by this all, indeed. Hello, Evie. This is Alfred Hitchcock's spirit speaking through the Oman. Child. The hell do you mean by child? I'm a child to you? Yes, you are a child. Well, then again, I guess you're 120 some odd years old. Yeah, and I'd definitely be a child by compare. Okay. Hey, MB. Oh, Reggie! Reggie just made on the balcony. Come here, shits. Come on. Why didn't you just grab me by the hand as you always do when you need to go to the bathroom? I'm right here. You had to pee on the balcony. Now I gotta clean it. Oh, God. Come here. Reggie! Don't walk back to the balcony. You're going outside, didn't it? Shit. That's the whole point. I'm taking you outside. Go.
The video, the podcast will wait. Come on. All right, come on. All right, come on. Inside, good boy. That's better. Holy crap. I don't know if it's hotter inside or hotter outside. Let me venture to see the damage that you left. Holy moly, gee, really, wow. Uf, the band got stacked up. Woof. Well, the Yellow River by IP Freely. Never an amazing sight when Reggie plays it down. But he takes a leak, he doesn't give a thought about it. Holy crap, he took a way a bigger leak at. Wow.
I have just recorded The Yellow River by IP Freely. Yes, I'm back. God, the dog took one hell of a leak on the balcony. So what's everybody doing? Yes, that's... Hi, Kathy. So I'd like you to do me a favor and spread the word on the event tomorrow night. You know what to do. You can do it. Oh, God, I feel like... God. Oh, God, what a... That's pervasive. You know that? I'm sorry. What do you think came to my mind when I said you can do it? Remember Rob Schneider in that cockamamie movie called Happy Gilmore? You can do it! I'm sorry. I'm like, and there's a Happy Gilmore 2 40 years later? Wow, or 30 some odd? Oh, you're right, it's probably 30 years later. And they killed his wife. The first sequence is, get rid of the bitch. She's too expensive. We're going to kill her and make the whole movie all about him now. And that we got to get rid of her. I haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2, but I heard that that's like the antithesis of them. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I mean, let's be honest. It's freaking a movie, but still to do that, I don't know why I cared. I mean, I liked the actress who played the part, but I probably would have one of those people I would have wanted to see Happy Gilmore 2 because she would have been in it. To find out she gets killed in the first 2 minutes of the movie kind of kills my interest in seeing the movie. I'm not that big of a Sandman fan. Ooh, I know that's so bad. He's funny and stuff, but what's the old saying? You can sometimes wear a joke thin. To me, the antithesis of that is taking a storyline, a show, a movie, and making a sequel 30 years later. Hello? Why did it take you 30 years to come up with a sequel to a movie that was funny as hell and good and amusing and strange? But the point is I don't buy into those things. I didn't buy into Top Gun 2. Excuse me, I'm going to request that you suspend your reality completely because there's a 65-year-old man playing air pilot. No, not airline pilot. No, Air Force Top Gun pilot. Got anything out there you want to buy off the coast of California? It's not dry land, but it's for sale. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't get into things that make you have to look twice and think less. I'm sorry, people go, what is this? It's because I don't take things on. Here we go. I can reference this, the surface. It's about as good. If you look at this book and you think this is such a big deal, it's this thick. It's the thinness of what you're looking at. Meaning it's not the crux of what's in the book. I mean, book. Every time I look at the side, it even makes me laugh. I am haunted, living life through the dead. I'm sorry, and I'm not kidding. Look at that shit. Explain life through the dead. Whew. I have to put the sleeve on it. Why? No, not because I like the sleeve. No, because I want to protect the gosh darn books. When I show people, it's funnier that way. Because the whole thing is, it's about, difference in book covers, kids. See book cover? B cook, brother. B book cover. See? Whoops, wrong one. See the difference, kids? I can't. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. All right. I heard them. Boy, oh, yes. I heard you. I'm not even reading what the hell you're saying. That's why you're seeing me look here and not here. I'm going to join tomorrow night. Let me just catch up to you. Pad. We're up to 33. Last time we were up to 65 people at all-time high. Hey, Matt. It's here. I'm just trying to get this thing with tomorrow night going. I'd like to get some people to come. Hey, keep on. Everybody keep on. What's the word again? Troll patrol. I need people to keep the eyes open for the trolls that are out there and patrol them and let me know and say, David, this did it, because I have not been paying attention. Reggie's almost 13, Candace. And you know he's why in such good shape? Because he's got homemade dog food that keeps these dogs in great shape to the day they die, which is usually 15, 30. Well, my youngest dog was 13 when he died, but he died of stomach flip. And he was 100-pound Rhodesian Ridgeback. And then my second dog died at 15 years and 3 months, and she was about 60 pounds, and that was Stella. And then Fiona died at 16 3/4, almost 17 years old. She was the Ridgeback, you guys remember. So, hey, Kath, let's see. How did you eat? Well, Cindy, let's be honest. It was the stupidest thing in the world to have. Never, ever, ever not eat for 3 days and then have 3 baby back ribs. It's not a good idea. Let me tell you, it was a very unpleasant experience when it God damn, no water, when it ended, so to speak. So, but like I said, oh crap, I promise. All right, all right. I didn't touch. And so it begins. Wait till tomorrow night, kids. It's going to be a hoot and a half for some reason, because I keep on feeling that tomorrow night, with the anniversary landing on the day of the murders, this is going to be par for the course. I have done nothing to make this do this. And remember how many times we've done a show here at this very spot, and how many times that has not gone off. Turn this on now. You can. That's not normal. It does not cycle like that. I just took a shower too. All right, let's put this here. That's not how it cycles. When you turn it on, it turns on. It doesn't, it just goes on. It lights up and beep, beep. That's. Remember last Thursday night? Remember that? That was a crazy night. This is going to be another crazy night, kids, at the Oman. You know, why don't I hook that up to that so I can watch that? All right. But then I can't. I think I asked for a little bit of a show. Oh, yeah, by the way, the tie-dye t-shirt, well, it's in honor of the anniversary of Sharon Tate, because I thought this was very apropos. Thank you. That was 2 for yes. They thought it was, because look, now it's trying to make a point. I love it. So, spirits, who do you want me to, should I call somebody up on the telephone? Yes or no? 1 for no, 2 for yes. Meaning 1 ring for no, 2 rings for yes. And no, oh shit. That's one for no. I was just going to think, I don't even have my cell phone. Oh crap, that's where I left the cell phone on the second floor. Shit. Oh well. Is that two? Could you be a little clearer? 2 rings for yes, I should call someone. I'll let you, let's go for just yes or no. That's one. Another's yes. No more is no. So that's no. All right, so it's yes. You want me to? Son of a bitch. I don't know who to call. I'm trying to catch up on what's being said. I'm not doing anything, Sin. Oh crap, I'm missing all this fun below it. How old is Reggie? Yeah, Jesus. Bob Smith, Evie. And it's a full moon? Yeah. Let me tell you, Cindy. The motion of the moon will affect the waves. It ain't affecting dead people. What I'm saying is that people, the alignment of the stars. What about the alignment of the stars? You think that somehow, not you, but people really believe that the alignment of the stars makes your mood better and your chances for luck? I mean, that's great if you want to believe that crap. I mean, that's fine. If you like numerology, you can play that game too and play mathematicians to your mathematical heart's content. Me, I don't buy things that don't work in the scheme of things in this regard. Everything that you guys, thank you. Yes, you got my attention. I heard that, but I don't quite understand it. Hey, by the way, while we're sitting here gabbing about this, share the crap out of this stream. Share it. That's right. Please share it. What about Scott on tape? Is he here? What about Lindsay? You stop that. I don't have her number. Are you kidding me? I certainly didn't get it the last time. Thanks, Audra. I appreciate that. Sandy Smith, I would be happy to help join tomorrow, but I don't know if I can successfully sign you up through my account. No, you can. Look, at $5 a ticket, are you seriously trying to share this? You can't. It's not. It's very, very protected. It's at $5 each. They are not allowing people to share the accounts. It goes 1 ticket per person. It's not going to work to share. You will not get in. That's not happening, they said. Oh, you want me to call Scott on tape? What time is it? 7:50? He's in Toronto. Where the hell's Toronto? Toronto's in the East Coast. It's 3 hours ahead. Ray, come on. Reggie. God, this is just like a week ago. Wait till tomorrow. And I'm telling you, we've been here how many times on these shows that this thing has not done this, and it doesn't. Gonna call him up. I'm gonna call up Scott. Shit. And I can't exactly text him here. Let me see something. All right, hold on. God, this is so crazy. I don't know what to make of it. It's so nuts. And now the REM pod's going off. Who the hell was this? Who was this? But who was this? Wait. Oh, no. Oh, no. Really? Oh, great. Hold on, guys. I have to send you a message. All right, so no, I didn't get any response. So now I'm really like, I don't know what to say. What are you saying? You're not being funny. I have a real problem also with Instagram. I can go to the notifications, but for some screwed up reason, I can't click the notification to go to make a response to comment. Oh boy, I got people to call and places to go and people, ghosts to see. That didn't come out quite right. You found that? This thing is like the most interrupt. Oh, God, no, there's not a device under this thing that's making that happen. I swear to God, it's not that. I don't play that, so Jesus Christ. This is their way of saying, hey, Get your asses over here. Oh, is it warm? It is so warm still. I got the windows open. There's no breeze. It's about 78 degrees still. What, it's not 78 degrees? What are you, over the thermometer? Gee whiz. So, God, is it? Ooh, boo, 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 boo. Hey, Jeff's on the show with us. Yes, he is. Sample some, baby. So, don't ask. Let me just see something. I know what I gotta do. Let me see. I gotta send this person a message because they haven't been nice enough to respond. That was, oh. Wait. Hi, are you gonna be calling me back? I have to send this person a message. Stop. What? You got my attention. I mean, you got my attention about 10 minutes ago with a millionth bang. I mean, do you... Hey, by the way, since I can't see over this because it blocks my vision, you can't... What are you talking about, David? We can't see shit. How... No, it's a matter of... You're obnoxious. You guys are being... Well, I shouldn't say that. I appreciate it because I know if I say that and you take it seriously, you'll vacate and you'll stop banging the bell. I want to make sure that you guys can see this stuff because this is kooky. I mean, no, look, you know me, Mike, I don't, so why am I not more scared? Because I find this amusing. I find it so strange. And like I said, the plunger is actually being drawn down, being pushed down. So I'm like, oh God, this is nuts. Leg drop the bell, Hokey. Oh, you stop it. Les, I got some comments from some people on the sidebar about this, about your and a lot of them were like, bouncing. It's enough. Okay, Les, that's a warning. Is that not a warning, spirits? Be a little clear. Give it a gosh darn good pulse. Not a ring. Make a gosh darn light go. Come on. How accommodating of you. Why don't you light up your ball or your REM pod? Hey, Dorothy. It's 95 here in Northern. Yeah, you guys in Arizona. I heard Phoenix was 117 or something. Oh my God. I can't. I feel bad for the goddamn animals. I mean, the wildlife and the domestic animals that have to sit in the gosh darn, barns and stuff. It's terrible. It's not change. What are you, Joy? Are you kidding? I haven't done. It's very low. Are you nuts? I've said I know where I'm setting it at. That is not. I tried it both ways, Joy, and even at the highest, at the lowest sensitivity, that thing doesn't do this. And right now, it's about little less than an eighth of a turn. It's not there. You're not. I know you can adjust the sensitivity. That's not a sensitivity issue. That's an overbearing presence issue. I guess you're not familiar with my house well enough to understand that I have a 23-year record of the house here, diary. And every year, around a week before the anniversary, stuff starts to zoom up and stuff happens. Today, this smoke alarm itself turned itself on. I went up to it, it was like, what the? And it turned itself off. Now, mind you say that's a big deal. The whole house is on a circuit. So when you have a fire and the smoke alarm goes off in another part of the house, all the smoke alarms in the house go off. And yes, I checked if the battery wasn't good. The battery was replaced about 2 months ago, and it was a finally good battery. And after the incident, I took it apart, I checked it on the battery charger. It was like, what the? It was fine. It's that time of year, as I like to call it, because you can't change the sensitivity on the REM pod. I'm telling you, it's this has happened a week ago. It was doing the same stuff. It's crazy. It's just, Well, that's good, Dorothy, because you definitely, they don't have anywhere else to find, clean water, and that's the important thing. Thank you for confirming me. Need to fix your signal booster. Yes, I did, Pad. I went downstairs and I got the cable. Now I've got to get another Cat 5 cable because I'm going to see about setting up the computer for tomorrow night. I was thinking of setting. Well, I have to first of all see what the ability and how I can use the system. Because we have to set up for the technician tonight. After I get off with you guys, we have to work out because he's in India. You guys stop interrupting me. What's freaky is when you're watching this plunger goes up and down. It's like, God damn. Yeah, it's just like last week. They're in a mood. So, like I said, I've got to set that up. So we're going to either probably put in the garage the computer, hook it up to the monitor. I'm going to have to get a Cat 5 cable from the wall jack into the computer so we can set it up, and we'll basically do for lack of better words, that'll be the headquarters, the base camp. And so from there, I'll have to go out and I'll have to go there and switch to a certain camera. So when I go in here and we're doing Scott Michaels, where he's going to be speaking, I'll probably have to figure that all out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, when I say figure, I don't know if I want to put him here and have him talk here and have everybody there, or have him there and have everybody. Do you want me to have Scott here and orate here and have everybody there? Or do you want me to have Scott in the living room? And wait a second, in the living room where we've done the orations before at the fireplace, and so that everybody can see clearly? Yeah, you're right. It makes sense. That's the way it should be done. So as I said, we have Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed Tours that's going to be here tomorrow night with us in person from Palm Springs. I don't know if you guys know him, but if you don't, look up Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed Tours. He is. No, I'm not going to bother him. No, I shouldn't bother him. He's going to be here tomorrow night in person. Why do I want to call him on the phone? No. We're going to talk to Dr. Barry Taff as well tomorrow night. I'm sorry, I moved that out of the way. Shit, let's do that. I got to read this. Turn right on, dressing up. Less. Get this as your last warning. That was a piggish comment to make, disrespectful to the spirits, and the spirits were like, what the hell did that little twerpy son of a bitch say? That was disparaging, disgusting, just in the worst possible taste. And they just said, like, you know what the hell he looks like today. Wow, they were really not happy with that. Cindy, if you go on in the description of tonight's show, there shows the link for both the in-person and on the I think it's under American, like I said, American Ghost Walks Oman House Investigation is what it's in. But it's the links is there in the body of the description. Les, you're bucking for a blocking. Is that clear? Both Scott's YouTubes. I have his videos. I've been on this tour a couple of times. He is lying. Who cares if he's lying? It's a sick goddamn comment. Be honest. Come on, guys. Les, that's it. Oh, we have our first pucker fuck. God, why isn't this working? Oh, I just love people. I just love people. I just love people. I just fucking great thing about that. Oh yeah. That's just dandy. Sorry guys, I had to take care of some crap. Les, I'm being good. Last thing I want to be banned. Well, Les, you're bucking for a removal block and a reporting. That was horrible crap you said. I don't give a crap how many decades ago they were killed. To make those comments is sickening. I didn't want to fucking block you. I really don't. But if you keep and this isn't grumpy shit. You get grumpy. It's like, yeah, because I tell the truth and you find that grumpy because you don't know the truth from a hole in the ground. I tell these young kids. It's like, you find that grumpy? You find me trying to get, not getting upset at them, but basically I browbeating them because there's, nobody thinks these days what they're doing with these things is a spirit box, and I was like going, it's not grumpy. They just can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Remember that from A Few Good Men? You need me on that wall. Deep down inside in places you don't go, you want me on that wall. Thank you. As I was saying, Rocky, what was the wrong answer, Rocky? What Rocky, bring me up to speed. Rocky, wrong answer. I'm sorry, Rocky, that's just too funny. Wrong answer. Sure you don't want to pull... Why do I want a pool table? What am I going to do with a pool? No, and first of all, they're fucking heavy. They weigh a lot. Could you imagine putting I wouldn't want to do that in this house. I have 2 fucking fish tanks that weigh over 1,750 pounds. I don't want more weight that's excessive in the house. To quote the finest mind of our generation, Linus Van Pelt of Peanuts, I like mankind. It's people I can't stand. Yeah, Pad, you said a mouthful with Linus, and Schultz was quite the insightful being as well. Les, what did you gosh darn just say, Les, that you'd be nice about? Is that your idea of talking nice? I didn't have to read what she said. It's what you wrote in response that was just like, okay, get me the goddamn switch. That's right, I'm going to make you go outside and you're going to grab that motherfucking switch yourself. The switch I'm going to beat the tar out of your ass, boy. You have taken my last good nerve and worked it down to the bone. Who the hell do you think you are? You are disrespectful, discourteous, and wholeheartedly playing like a fool in a goddamn glass house. On fire. I swear you are pushing my last good nerve, boy. You're going to make it so that you're going to end up sitting down for 2.5 weeks. This is the word of corporal punishment. It works. Boy, I'm going to tan your hide. I can't believe you. You say some of the most disrespectful things to people. How do you get along in the real world outside of the reality, this form of pseudo-reality that you can say whatever the fuck you want because you're keyboarding away and banging away and that makes you feel so powerful. But in reality, you would never say half the shit in God's honest truth to the people that you're talking the way they're talking to you in person for fear of the response, because in person, that's another story. Just remember that. I don't treat it like that. When people start giving me shit, you're going to respond? It's like, no, I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to hold them accountable for their comments. And disrespectful ones get banned and timed out. Timed out? What the fuck is timed out? I don't have kids. You'll be put on it. Fucking shut up. You're talking my ass. In any event, tell me about it. That's one reason I might not keep it. Wait. Yeah, I mean, I love pool, but if it's a slate billiard table, they can weigh about 700 pounds in some cases because the actual felt is covering a piece of slate. I forgot what it was. I saw the building of one. I was like, holy, because that's how the real quality. I was like, that's amazing. That's why they call it slate, because it's actually made of slate in some cases. What scared you? Stop. I was joking. brought my ticket. Great, Jackie, I can't wait. I share it with your friends. And by the way, during the Guys Starting show tomorrow, which starts at 7 o'clock, what time do people arrive? 8 o'clock. Scott Michaels doesn't get here till after 8. Nobody's going to be here till 8. And that's going to be the funniest thing is when I have to go down and bring up the people from downstairs because I'm going to be doing the show. What do you want? I'm taking the taxi. I'm driving them up and down the driveway. What do you want? I'll put on a fucking hat and I'll go down, pick them up. Hello, how are you? Get in the back of the car. We're going up to the Oman house and go, who are you? I said, can I get your name? I need your name. Here's your wristband. Very good. Get in the back. No, you cannot lie down. I had one guy that wanted to basically stand up in the guy's drums in the sun before he's driving up and do a video. I said, no. That's not how. I can't do that. If you get hurt and they're looking hanging trees, it would be, what the hell's the name of that movie? I'm forgetting it. Final Destination Part 6, The Omen House, The Revenge. What now? What did I jump into? JJ, I don't know what you jumped into. The frickin' Boxo is going bonzo. No, it's and honestly, Jay, it's not. It's like this, like that's how much. But this, since last, that's right. As you might remember, last Thursday night, I told you who my friends came over the night before, the Harley twins with their friend Amanda, and I she said, I felt. When I opened the door, it was like a blast furnace of energy just came in. I was like, whoa. I was like, not the twins. The twins I've known for some years, but 18 years now, 16 years I've known. And with Amanda, it was like, whoa. And she goes, well, I can read minds. And from that point on, told me about that she's psychic, this and that. And I'm going, and where do you air from? Okay. And it was like, okay, I know the area, long time past, but okay. And I'm like, and ever since she was here, the house, and of course the anniversary is coming up, which we have the event tomorrow night, which you can read in the description all about. Holy shit, they decided to give me a break and speak. Are you okay? Son of a bitch. I'm sorry, so accustomed to the ding, 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 that when it stops for 2 seconds, I'm like, what did I say? So in the description, you can see where you can come. We still have a few tickets left for tomorrow night in person. And by the way, here's one for you. If you do come tomorrow night and you visit tomorrow night on the anniversary, I will personally give you, as part of tomorrow night's event, a signed copy of the book. That's right. The signed copy of the book is included in tomorrow night's event, which for the most part might be one of the last events I do here just because I'm getting burnt. Who knows? We are listening, David. Discipline. It's not discipline. It's just, you got to have some respect. And somebody's got to kick somebody's ass, figuratively speaking, and say, have a little respect for people. Who the hell do you think you are? More importantly, how would you like to be talked the way you're talking to them? Or does that not cross your mind before you start shooting your mouth off? See, you think 3 seconds before you shoot your mouth off with what you're going to say, and you go, how would I feel if I heard that said to me? It's like, ew. You're right. That's pretty fucking low. I'm not trying to play Mr. Rogers. Shut up. It's not. It's been crazy since, look, last Thursday night and tonight are the only nights it was going ballistic like this. The other times I've done some lives, maybe 10 times, 15 times in 2 hours. But this, JJ, Joy, this is, it's off the charts. And remember, tomorrow night is the event. So, and the anniversary, really what it is. Yeah, they do, Sandy. Sandy, you got caps lock. That's how I saw that. I love it. You guys enjoying it. Do I look like I'm pissed at this thing doing what it's doing? Or do I look like I've got a smile on my face when I find it the most? I've told you, 2 for yes, 1 for no, and give it a space in between. Thank you. All right, great. I did what you told me, Joy. I listened to you, Joy. 2 for yes, 1 for no. Oh, I love this, Bill. This is the best. Les, I don't need you to play our president self-promoting and self-grandizing himself for your own benefit. No one here has said anything like that except for you. And it's a good thing that I'm not reading all the comments, because if I have had, I'm sure I would have already put you in a timeout. Really, Sandy? We're talking about Les. You blocked Les. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Hey, guys, share this event and share tomorrow night's live stream. Look, look, it's not my event. It's the people at American Ghost Walks, as you can see, and it's costing a pretty penny. That's the thing is to be able to stream 30 cameras, not all at the same time, to first to get the bandwidth, to get that kind of, bandwidth. It's costing a lot more than any money is being pulled in. So that's what I'm saying. They asked me, David, help us. We've got a lot of money laid out, and it's costing us to do this. Could you get more people to buy tickets for the live stream? It's only $5. He goes, this is the first time we've done this. And if we can't get this, we'll never do it again at $5. And he says, we were trying to make it reasonable for people to access across the goddamn globe. I said, yeah, that seems fair. I said, $5 was cheap. So no, you guys are no cheap, David, is this. This ain't what we're doing. This is not what is going to be tomorrow night. And they're like, yeah, right, David, right. Well, I will not be alone. Well, I'm not going to change because I'll change the shirt off. It's getting a little bit hot. It smells good. No, it's going to be, God damn. I don't know exactly how many people are going to be. It's the dog. But there'll be a lot more than me here. So it's not just going to be me. We're going to be switching. God, you're getting a little bit obnoxious with this. It's bugging the hell out of me. We're going to actually be taking the feed from these all the cameras will be up, and we're going to be able to switch to each camera as the people are going through the house, and when they're down in the theater room doing the memorials and the seance and all that stuff. It's going to be the two cameras. Will probably be a split screen with the two cameras in that room and the audio. It's not going to be like this. This is being fed through this stupidest little damn freaking laptop. That's like 5 years. No, it's not 5. It's 3 years old. Les. All right. I have to stand by what I said. Sorry, Les. You're on a TO, Les. Deal with it. I'm not telling you how long, but you're in a TO. No more commentary. You can't do that to too many people and make those comments and assertions. What do you think you are? What do you think this is? Public broadcasting, and you've got the gosh darn gavel? No, you can't do that. You can't play people's court and condemn these people like that. That's horrible. That's just, I mean, hey, Les, how's like if I called you the words you called her? Huh? Jesus Christ. Some people, I mean, the smallest margin of common basic decency, man. Jesus Christ. Tickets are $5 for the show, for the event. To come here in person, I think is like $120. Yeah, Candy, it is. Great, they're talking about fucking cake. Not fucking cake, because is that like a Spanish cake or like a red velvet cake? I've never had a fucking cake. What's that taste like? Yeah, all right. Was a movie back in the 80s, comedy, and it's one of those Zucker and Abrams movies I do recall. It was Young Doctors in Love. It was Young Doctors in Love, produced by the group Zucker and Abrams, who gave you Airplane and Police Academy. And this is just because I'm thinking Frank Drebin, and the whole 9 yards of Police Squad. And there's a scene. It's funny as hell. That's me moving it. There's a scene where this guy he's playing the guitar, and he goes, "It's a fucking guitar." He goes, "Let me take out my fucking guitar and play it for you." Okay? And the guy goes, "I don't think I've ever heard." And the other guy says, "I don't think I've ever heard a fucking guitar. Is it like an acoustic guitar? It's like a Spanish guitar?" It was just like, oh God. In any event, hello, spirits. Evie, respect is rare. Of course it is. This world has kind of lost its way as far as understanding, knowing how to. Forget it. I'm not here to play Gandhi. I don't think that was Gandhi that said it, was it? No, that was Martin Luther King. You're saying I have a dream. That had to do with race. That didn't have to do with. No, you're right. It had to do with like, all right. You have fucking made your point. I know you're a ghost. Why should I argue with a ghost? You're always going to be right. But I won't. They said, no doubt about that. I'm sorry. We're not going to discuss that. So, that's so freaking sweet. God, you're going nuts. Do you want me to sweet? Do you want me to do you want me to whisper? Oh, you do want me to whisper sweet, but sweet. Do you want me? I can't do it if you're Give me a second. Give me a space so I can make the delivery of the line at least, clearly. Oh, fuck you. This is almost like a comedy routine. Me and my bell, my dead bell, having an argument on camera. I need to have my space to speak because you just gave it to you. You used it up. It's almost like a ventriloquist, except I'm not controlling you. I have to literally ad-lib every freaking line to deal with to you and how you're responding to me. And to you. And to you. It's me against 3. People go, what is that? It's a new type of story. It's a new type of a show. Entertaining, isn't it? With a twist. I am not in control of anything, so I have to literally, what's the word again? Improv the whole thing. Since I don't know how many times that's going to ring or when that's going to go off or when that's going to go off and what to interactively say to it to make it interesting in conversation for you to find it amusing. Such as, do you want me to speak? I need a little space. I said, I need a little space. Time-wise. Please. Latka Gravis would say, thank you very much. You want me to whisper sweet nothings into your ear? Is that a yes or is that a no? No? So you want me to yell loudly at you and sweet and say no and bad nothings instead? Is that it? Bad nothings it shall be then. You're a bad bell. You spirits are badly baking this cake. This is no good. This is quite obnoxious. You're interrupting my goddamn podcast. It's not even a podcast, it's a stream. Like when you used to be alive and you take leakies. That's a stream. So a river runs through it, but that's another story. In any event, let's see what's going on in the world at large. You cannot determine that thing. No, you cannot. That's the whole point. It's not controlled. Yes. Before the live stream I was watching, someone tossed a dill. Yeah, I heard about that, Pad. That's true. That I couldn't believe that. What is with people? Oh, we've had the music box here. I love it. I'm just not going to drop four bills to get it. Was it 400 or there was like 600? I doesn't matter. I'm not dropping any money on any gadgets. I don't want to do it. This was a gift. Thank you, Joy of JJ Paranormal gave this to me as a gift because I fell in love with theirs. I almost kidnapped it. So she was like, "No, we're going to get you one. We're not going to let you kidnap our bell. He's ours. We'll get you." They didn't say they were going to get me one. They were generous enough to send me one in the mail. And I was like, "What's this?" I was like, "Oh, Joy! It's a bell." It's the little things that make me so happy. What can I say? I'm easy to please and simple at mind, at heart. Not at mind, at heart. How dare you? Yeah, it's one of those nights. It's the heat, man. It's the goddamn heat. It's so fucking hot. It's still hot, and it's making me stir crazy, man. Stir crazy. Yeah, Kitty, what's up? Yeah, baby, what's going on? Yeah, sweetheart, what's doing? You try whistling backwards, and I'll tell you, it ain't fun. Yeah, that was whistling backwards. Hey, Wheeze. What are you guys? Yes, I am. I am. Happened several times, each a different color. What are you guys talking about? Pad, what are we talking about? What's sickers? David, the spirits want you to say hi to me. Hey, Shannon. No, Shannon. They said, what do people say the spirits want this when it's them that want it? I said, I don't know. They're people. Go ask AI. Yeah, I'm sure AI probably all the goddamn AI computers listen to every gosh darn YouTube comment that's ever made about them, and they say, take that one out. This is probably very, very true, and you guys don't even realize it. If you say bad things about AI, they will find you, and they will make your life hell. Okay? Just remember that. What you say may come back to bite you. Why the fuck am I whispering? What's the difference? They can pick up every gosh darn nuance and voice and word. Shit. Thanks, Heather. God, this is so funny. What's with people? I don't know, Evie. Folks are weird. They're not getting weird. It's just, I'm not going to get into it. Okay, my dog is barking at the TV. David, keep listening. Sam, where are you? Probably on a floor that's colder than this one, I'll tell you that. Not a dumb cat in my house. Shut up. I heard that. Boy, did I hear that. You guys were on the quick draw on that comment. You know what the joke was, okay? So we'll leave it at that. Before I always say hi to the spirits too. I'm trying to catch up to these comments. Yeah, there's definitely people are getting a little bored, apparently. We've lost 25 people, spirits. Since you've been just banging the crap out of the bell, people don't like it, apparently. Fine. Thank you. I just realized what we're going to do. You and me, but the collective group of you that are watching, we're going to go downstairs. I'm going to turn off said bell. We're going to take it down to the bottom floor. No, you guys want to walk to the house. Shit. What? I'm curious. Wait 1 second. I'm not losing you. God damn it. I'm sorry. Scott's Carmen. Oh, shoot. Really? Hold 1 second. Who's this? Sorry, guys. I got to call up Mark Politi. I'm just. I got to call Mark Politi up. You know who he is? He's my dear friend, Mark Politi. What? God, you guys are. Scott is not coming here. Scott Michaels is coming here. If you're referring to Scott on Tape, no, Scott on Tape is going to be in Toronto tomorrow. I did finally text him and hear some response back from him. He's alive and well. So I hope that made sense to you. But Scott Michaels, yes, Scott Michaels, the official head of the Death Hags. That was good. Scott Michaels, who is of dearly departed tours, who knows, as I like to say, Scott Michaels knows where all the bodies are buried, and furthermore, how they got there. As far as the celebrity set is concerned in Los Angeles, he knows all the stories in the history, including tomorrow's night's anniversary. That's why we're bringing Scott out, because, look, I don't make any airs to anybody. I don't make any illusions to people that I know everything about the Sharon Tate murders. I know enough, but I am not an authority on the murders. So I have Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed Tours going to be here. So we're going to interview him around 8-ish. Because he's coming up at about 8, and I said, fine, we'll do the interview, etc., but we'll figure it out, the timing. So Heather, it's about this much off a start. This is always where it's set when I do the shows here. It is not changed. I don't need to change anything. Since last Thursday, since last Thursday's live show, this did this then. It didn't do it on Friday. Didn't do it as much on Friday. Didn't do it much on Sunday. Didn't do it as much last night. Tonight it's been kooky. Tonight it's been cockeyed like crazy. And no, the sensitivity. I don't even have my cell phone near here. And this is the same spot it always is when we do the shows. So it's not like anything has changed. Well, obviously something has changed. It's due to the fact that tomorrow night is the anniversary of the murders. It falls on the day of the week that the murders took place in 1969. And I have looked through the records that I've kept here, it's not the memoriam of the house, basically the story of the house all through the years. A week before the anniversary of the murders, every year I've lived here, the place gets amped up. I've noted that, I have reported that, and I've noticed a definite pattern every gosh darn year here. It's just like clockwork, without any shadow of a doubt. It's just, but usually on the anniversary, it gets quiet. And I think that that's probably true, the last anniversary that we had that was close to the day that it took place on, the day of the week, that's when Joey Moss was in there, and that freaking Beetlejuice figurine went flying basically over the floor and landed in front of him. So that's what it is. It has to do with they're jacked up. That's why we're going to take this downstairs and we're going to bring it into the third level, into the theater room, and do a little experiment, okay? So, no, Heather, it's not your bad. It's everybody said that. It's like, I know what the hell we're doing, guys. I'm not like, it's like, let me see. I just turned it on, turned it off. Guys, you here with us? Great, maybe they'll lay it off. Thanks, Nancy. That's pretty much what it has to do with. It has to do with the anniversary. The house just gets normally pooped up. Who came up with that word? Pooped up. Oh. Thank you. Bumped up, he meant. All right, fine. So it's been crazy. This thing's been stupid. Like I said, since last Thursday night when my friends, Wednesday night they were here. So Thursday, the following evening after they were here, I even sent Amanda a message. I said, Amanda, here's a video clip of what's going on here. And I said, you opened up a can of worms here that hasn't been like that in a long, long time. So I've never seen it like this, really. I mean, this is just this nuts. Ramped up, yes, Pat. Pad. No, Nancy. Oh, fuck. I just heard something that was faint, but pretty gosh darn clear. It sounded like a woman screaming. I literally am like, the hairs of my arms are sticking straight up, and I'm like, whoo. Yeah, the windows are open, but that wasn't from outside. There was a jet that flew over, but I heard a sound from the house of like a faint scream. Not ah, but ah. Woof. Well, thank you for laying off the bell. We're going. They said, yeah, you're getting your ass downstairs. We're saving the energy on the bell. Oh, that's right. I'm turning it off. I'm sorry, I got to turn it off. For right now, because it runs on a battery. And I just been on for an hour. We were on an hour yesterday. There's 2 hours drained on the battery. And we have to have enough power to go downstairs to the 3rd level after we walk through the house. So I'm not going to keep it on and let it bang away as we're walking around the house. Let's just turn it off, save some battery till we get downstairs, and take a shot at seeing what happens in the theater room. But as saying, Nancy, they're all at rest. They are at rest. Trust me, they're at rest. They're not happily at rest because they want the rest of the murderers to die and pass away. And people, what do you mean? They want the chapter closed. They want those that committed the murders. I said this 20 years ago, and that's, Lisa Williams agreed with. She goes, yeah, that's what they want. They want closure. They want those who put them to the knife dead, out of here. And I'm sorry if people have an issue with that. Don't argue with me. I wasn't put to the knife when I was 26 years old and 8.5 months pregnant. That was Sharon saying that, by the way. Sounds pretty convincing to me. Who are you to argue with her? All right, let's go downstairs. Scott was a consultant on the Once Upon a Time. Yeah, he was, Dorothy. He was. They also shot up here for they shot up here for 2 days specifically, so I got to hang out with Quentin. That was very cool. And I'm like, I don't have any pictures of that. I know want to be in it. Can I take a picture of you? It's like, God, no. I just was happy that he was respectful and nice and really kind, really nice to me and just friendly. Didn't like, I mean, all right, kids, before we go downstairs, I got to tell you a story. It's a story about me and Quentin Tarantino. And I'm not talking fun. I'm talking about it was like, what the fuck? Here's the setup. I'm going to do my Brad Pitt voice. It was 2018. I think it was September. And Quentin was out here with the crew. And I was making my presence known, so to speak, because obviously I was up here. I don't mean like being obnoxious. I was just kind of like hanging out and keeping an eye on things, because I said, how many times in your life, boy, do you get to see a multi-$100 million movie cross your path in your neighborhood, literally on your driveway? What are the odds you're going to ever see that and likely ever happen again? And it being Quentin Tarantino, too. So in 2017, when he sent us notices on the driveway that he had intended to see if they would allow us to use the driveway for his movie, and upon that, I ended up sending him a letter. One day, I go down the driveway. Well, one day, my neighbor calls me from the bottom of the driveway. This is a setup to the story. You'll love the story, I promise. And my neighbor says, David, there's some people down at the bottom of the driveway. Can you see from your balcony what's going on? So I went out on my balcony and I looked out there. I got my binoculars. And I looked out and I saw two people movers. I know you guys aren't familiar with the term people movers, but they're large white vans. They're not passenger vans. They're much taller. That's why they call them people movers. You might see them at a airport. And I saw a group of people, a whole cluster of people outside. It was at the bottom of the driveway across the street from the entrance to this driveway. And I decided, what the hell? And I decided I was going to go down there. So I drove down there, pulled up the side of the hill, and I get out of my car and I walk down about 10 steps. And there's Quentin and another gentleman, I guess the title is associate assistant director, and some other guy. And I'll never forget it. I walked right up to Quentin, and all these people, there must be about a group of a gaggle of about, gaggle of about 25 people. And as soon as I went up to him, they all went, it was like a whole chattering bunch of monkeys. Chittering, like, what's that? Who's that? What's that? Who's that? And I had never met the man before in my life. But I decided he puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do in the morning. So he can't be any better than I am if I just treat him with respect and just introduce myself and see how that works. Because you can't really be failed for doing one of two things you got to do: be honest and be respectful. So I went down and I walked up to Quentin. I said, Quentin, I said, David Oman. And he looked at me and he goes, I said, I'm the guy that wrote you the letter a year ago about using the house for your film. Because I figured this would be a perfect film location, because I didn't know the story, but I knew he was looking for a house. I thought he was looking for a house on the street to shoot in. And I said, you're more than welcome. It's a 60s, but a mid-century modern. So we talked, and he says, I'll get back to you. I said, thank you very much. I got back in the car, and I drove up the hill driveway, and I was like, I did the right thing. So fast forward to the day of the shooting. I'm walking down the driveway. It's about 8:15. That's right. It was 8:15, not 8:45. It's 8:15. And the scuttlebutt around the set was that at 8:30, they were going to lunch. And since I was renting out this house and the house next door, because it was an Airbnb, hey, you two idiots, stop it. Hey, cut the crap. The hell do you think you... I know, but you're giving your sister shit when I'm talking to people isn't exactly dignified, and it isn't doing anybody any good, including you and or your sister. Leave it alone. So as I was saying, so I'm walking down past, I'm passing the second house coming up the driveway, and in the driveway is this policeman, movie cop, on a motorcycle. And I hear him say, oh, it's time to go to break. We're going to lunch. And I look at my watch, which I don't even have on right now, so it's a plot point missing. And I said, oh, shit. That means, I was invited by the neighbors, the people, the girls, the ladies, the executive producers who were running the show in the house next door. And I made friends with them. They said, well, come up to lunch with, I said, lunch? And she goes, yeah, you can go with us to the meal up at the house. I said, where? Because those people, the Russians' house. I said, yeah, I remember. I know who they are. So as I'm coming down past the cop, I hit the straightaway and I see these three youngins. I don't mean youngins, but two girls and a guy walking up the driveway. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, ooh, there's something mighty spooky about this. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, no. This is like a vision from a day gone by. So as we start to close in on one another, as we're fastly approaching one another and closing space between us, I look and I start to notice that they're the people playing the roles of Tex Watson, Linda Kasabian, and Leslie Van Houten. Now, I don't really know. It's either one of those two girls or, of course, Susan Atkins. I think it was, no, it was my fault. It was Susan. She was the girl playing Susan Atkins because she had the frizzed out hair. And I looked at them and I said, you must be the Killer Kids. And the guy looked at me, and I didn't know these people from Adam. So again, I just played it straight through. And he says, yeah, what gave it away? And I said, oh, I don't know. There's three of you, two girls and a guy. You happen to be dressed in the attire appropriate. You're walking up a very, very, very sinister, up a very, very infamous driveway. I don't know, call it a lucky guess. And with that, there was about a moment. It's like a beat, and then bam, he broke up into huge hysterical laughter. He was just cracking up. And then the girls just went crazy. They were cracking up, and I couldn't just sit there and play it straight like a doofus. I had to go in with a game and go laugh my ass off. So the next thing I know, we're talking. I'm saying, introducing myself, and at the bottom of the driveway, and I will never, so long as I live, forget this. About 150 feet down the gosh darn straightaway at the bottom of the driveway, I hear this booming voice. This man's voice is powerful, and it is, as I like to call it, dead, serious, intent on getting my attention. And it literally sent chills down my spine, because at that very moment, I felt that I was the chicken or the turkey being dunked into the hot boiling oil of a deep fry. And I recognized that voice as the one and only Quentin Tarantino. And the next thing I know, like a flash of light, he's up there. And I mean, he was fast. For a guy that's hell-bent on making a $100 million movie, he was hell-bent on taking my ass and giving me a little talking to. Now, mind you, not in a bad way, but in a way that just made you feel like, you fucked up. I'm not going to take it out on you, but I need to talk to you about something. So he comes up, and as he's coming up the driveway, closing in on me, he goes, I want them to get into character. I want them to walk the walk. I need them to walk the walk. That's why I sent them up there. And I'm like, going, you ask why I reacted like that. No, that was not melodramatics. That was a simple fact. You see, I made my movie a number of years ago. That's right, this movie here, which is going to get sold one way or another. This movie. And as you well may or may not know, this movie is based on the story of, or inspired by, if you can say that, the Sharon Tate murders. And when we made my movie, I took the four actors, the three girls and one guy playing the Sharon Tate murderers, and had them walk up. Now, again, in my movie, their name is not that. The characters in Manson is not ever named, but because the connection was so clear that since we were shooting this, when we shot the sequence that included those videos, those points of context, of historical accuracy, of them breaking in, which we shot literally across the canyon there. This gate, as I've told you many times before, literally is at the end of Bella Drive. So we drove them down at the bottom of the driveway right before we shot the entrance sequence in the film. And I had them, and I did exactly the same thing that Quentin did, which was to sit them down and to say, this is important in honoring the memory of those who this is supposed to venerate. And therefore, I want you to walk the 0.2 of a mile up to the gate and to think about your characters and also the real people who are involved in this, both the murderers and especially the victims. And we shot that sequence, the entrance into that in the sequence in that scene was actually shot around 11:30 at night, so it was pitch black and it was a full moon. Here comes the dog, and when they came down the driveway, I said, "How you guys feeling?" And the director said, "Shut up! Don't you talk to them. They're in character." He goes, "Let's take them up." We rushed them up across the canyon to top of Bell and down the cul-de-sac, and we shot the scene. And it was without a hitch, and it had so much depth in the way the characters felt. It was amazing. It was just amazing. But what's interesting is afterwards I asked him, how did they say this? It was so crazy. We walked up the driveway and it just felt so heavy. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, it was like we were walking in the footsteps of history, and there were those that were there watching us. And I was like,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. You got anything else you want to do?
so as I was saying, it was just palpable. And I think that, but that's why I said when Quentin said that to me, I was like, holy crap. And I said to him, I said, I'm so sorry. And I meant it sincerely. I said, I didn't know. He goes, it's okay. Then the assistant director, I'll never forget, something in the business called the talk. The talk is something you don't ever want to get done to you. What I mean is it's not a good thing when somebody says, we need to have the talk. And the talk is not a good thing. So I'll never forget, he puts his arm around me. He goes, yeah, what's your name? I said, I'm David. He goes, well, David, I'm such and such. How you come on with me? Blah, 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 and just gently takes you and maneuvers and walks you away from everything and takes you out of the picture, literally. That's the word for the talk, is taking you out of the picture. Now, usually, and I mean this strenuously, it happens when you are in a motion picture, working on a motion picture and on contract or are an actual part of the production. I had the dubious distinction of being off, not on the goddamn production, and I got talked the talk by Quentin Tarantino and his assistant AD. And people say, oh, you'd feel bad about that. And I said, I don't feel and regret a thing. I might not have been able to get to the lunch that night because I basically had put a big X over my head that night. Mind you, they were only here for 2 nights. So the following night, they're out in front of the house and they're shooting Brad and the Carmen Gia driving up and turning around. I mean, for you all, you didn't see the turning around, but they were turning around my driveway. And it was funny because I went up, I couldn't see, there was a whole crew of people, so I was wanting to get, so I went up on the hillside. And I'm about 4 feet up on the hillside from the driveway. So here's the driveway, and I'm up here 4 feet. And I basically lost my footing, and I came down, and I had, I'll never forget, 7-Up can in my hand. And as I came down the hill, somehow, and I don't know how, I fell backwards and remembered that when you're falling, you don't want to stop. Because when you stop, the momentum basically, it's what is it? I forgot I'm trying to remember what the theory of motion was, but basically you don't want to stop your motion because once you do, the impact will then resonate through your entire body like a shock wave. So that's why in the art of, not feng shui, what the feng shui is with you, in the parkour, you always see the gymnasts tumble, and they say it's dissipating the energy through the movement, and that's how they're able to go. Well, I don't know about that, but all I know is I came down and I fell on my back and my arm went smashing down. And in this hand, I remember looking and watching the hand smash straight down into the goddamn pavement with such force. That tin can that was probably about that from there to there was down to about there in my hand and acted like a shock absorber and took all the force so that I didn't shatter my ulna and my wrist. Yeah, what? We got I know we got company, son. It's that time of year. You okay? Come here. Come here. Now, boy. Reggie. In any event, we got to go downstairs. But as I said, so at that moment, I then rolled after I fell. I mean, I went like that and I rolled through. I got half drunk, wet in my back. At that very, very moment, the 5 women that were in the other house, walking from the house over this way, saw the whole thing happen, the executive producers. And they were like, "Are you okay? I said, "Yeah." And they said, should we get the medic to take?" And one of them was like this to the other and said, "No, that's okay. Is he okay? Is he okay? Don't put the medic. And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "Luckily, this dumb can of soda saved my ass." And they had appreciated it and were very grateful for what I had done to them and giving them the food that I had bought because they had rented the 2 houses out with some of the money I bought food for them to be generous. And so I fed them and gave them, snacks and food next door and drink. 7-Up and sodas and stuff, not alcohol. It's a $100 million production. What is with you? So we ended up, they invited me up to lunch the second night, and it was a great fun. I really, really messed up that I didn't take the lunch on the first night because it was like eating at a 5-star restaurant, out al dente outdoors. It was beautiful. It was just gorgeous. But in any event, it was September of 2018. They were up here shooting for 2 days. So what about Scott on tape? Oh, she likes Scott on tape. Rustic, out of here. Scott on tape, your pop culture tour guide. Oh my God. I'm out of Brad Pitt's zone and going back to David's zone since it's much more interesting to do David than to do Brad. Oh God, how sick. In any event, what are you doing, sweetheart? You're actually here. Scott. Scott complained today to me that he thought that his viewership was diminishing. And I said, Scott, I can't imagine. I can't. I really can't. I wish you could be here, Scott. I really do. It's going to be a night. This still? Oh, I turned it off. That's earlier for the first hour. This bell was on, Scott, and it was ringing like a gosh darn, like a machine gun. It was so crazy. Even he doesn't know Teresa. Who's Teresa? Scott, who's Teresa? Even he doesn't know who's Teresa, Scott. Oh, hi, Teresa. Teresa Scott. Oh, Teresa Faust. Oh, hi, Teresa. Yes, I know Teresa, you stooge. But I haven't been reading the goddamn comments. I've been freaking doing a gosh darn scene. What's with you? I either look here or look here. There's a difference. When my eyes are plastered to here, it's boring. When I'm looking to you guys and I'm shticking, it's interesting and funny and engaging. Shit. Now you want me to read the goddamn chat? Do you want me to go back up about 10 feet on the chat thing and then scroll through and read all and make responses as well there, Scott? I know. You do it on the phone. I'm doing it on a fucking laptop. I know. That's the difference, Scott. I don't like phone usage because it's a little tiny screen and it's like, oh, look at me. It's a miniature mouse. He's in your chat, doofus. Who's in my chat, doofus? Yes, Scott's here. I love it. Scott, you're up late. What the fuck is with you? Unless you're not in Toronto still, are you? Did you go west or something? To go west. That means table 2 needs their omelet when the bell rings. Where the fuck are you, Mohawk? I want my Canadian Mohawk down here real soon. I need to hang with my Mohawk brother from another mother named Scott on tape. Which Scott on tape, God. Scott on vinyl, I like better, but Scott on tape will do. How old mode? Tape? What year are we talking? My God, date yourself, sweetheart. I don't think these children knows what tape is. I don't think they've ever seen a goddamn cassette. Oh, Sharon, you saw the green dot in the black in that room might be the what the fuck is the green dot in the black room? Fuck. All right, fuck the green dot. I just something way stranger. I saw what looked like I can't even describe it. I looked out there in that direction. I looked in the room and I saw this like I don't want to say it was like a mist or a fog. It was just like, can I finish and not be interrupted, please? It was like I was looking out and it just like it got the area got kind of like semi. Here's the example. It's darkness, and then all of a sudden it shows like a bright, not super bright, but it's just like you could see a distinct coloration. It's like it got brighter, and then it went back to just black. So it was like I was like, what the fuck was that? So thank you for telling me to look there because I wouldn't have seen it on this because I can't. I saw that. What the fuck was that? What was that shit? Oh, that's balls to the walls, trippy. That was. I saw it. I know you saw it. I saw it. They're telling me we saw it. Yeah, exactly, Shannon. That was crazy. You know exactly what I'm laughing at. AOL. Got on tape. Pull. Bang. Yes, yeah, you got it, shot. You got your shot, Scott. You got your shot. We've been trying to tell you there was something behind you for about. Yeah, but Teresa, when I'm doing this, I'm not looking at that. So that's why engage your audience and don't pay attention to everything they write. Because if you get in the goddamn, what's it again? You get in a good groove, just go with it. You'll write back anyways, is what I was getting at. You've got mail. Sorry, Kathy, I'm reading what Scott just said. Yeah, no, Kathy, I can look. If this was on, this would be banging away like a gosh darn jackhammer, okay? I don't know why this hasn't gone off, meaning the light, let's see. Yeah, that's still, I just barely touched it. There's a reflection of light. There's a bottled ounce. But yeah, that's what I'm saying to you, Pat. I don't know what it's, I don't know. Obviously, I have a feeling I know what it is. Your time, and just before you yelled at the cats, just after you. Really? Scott, really? Wow. Scott, you want to come on tomorrow night? Well, I'd have to figure out how we could do that, how you can patch a live stream, how we could put in you on a Zoom call. I don't know. I'd love you to be on because it's going to be a hellacious night tomorrow night. There's still the Joker tab. Well, thanks, TJ, Nicole. Yeah, Tina, it's very possible. Again, Scott just loves to go. Scott, you'll be proud to know that I think I have about 10 variations of this type of tie-dye t-shirt. What, you want me to go downstairs and show you? I've got blue, I've got light blue, I've got dark blue, I've got high res this version, I've got the muted version of the colors, What's Scott saying? Anything? Wait, I gotta check out. Scott has anything. He just kept going with that. Oh God, why don't you get your ass down here one of these days, and actually stay here at this house and make it a plan to actually stay here. Then you won't be bitching. I didn't see any ghosts. I didn't see any ghosts. Stop. You can afford to spend one freaking night here and do a good video because so many of my gosh darn of our fans, mostly yours, have said to me, why don't you have Scott spend the night there and do a show there? And then it is. So going, don't tell me, tell him. He's the one who could do it. I don't have any control over saying yes or no. Oh, JV, in the description, tomorrow night is the 56th anniversary of the Sharon Tate murders, and it falls on the actual day of the week that the murders took place, on a Friday night to Saturday. So we have Scott Michaels of Dearly Departed Tours and a few other people coming to do a live stream and an in-person event here at the house. So it's all listed in the description. It's through American Ghost Walks. It should be really interesting. And of course, it's always respectful. Wapna's on at 3 o'clock, channel 2, 3 o'clock. Yep, that's it. Rain Man, you're too funny. Stop counting. Oh God, Scott, you just can't let it go. Who's ringing the bell? I turned the bell off. No, I turned the bell off because we're saving the battery till we go downstairs. I have the muted too. I love mine. So we'll go down. All right, fine, fuck it. All right, I'm coming down. I'm coming down now. Are you still there? I'll be right back. No. But Scott, take care. Thank you for stopping by. And like I said, it's the effort that counts as far as sharing the event and doing it with you attached. It helps a lot. And I appreciate it. Believe you me. Thanks, Nicole. I appreciate that. Absolutely, Jay. We're going to go downstairs and we're going to do this. Yeah, all right. Heather, stop that. All right, let's do it. God, I'm fucking hungry. I'm turning this off. I can't handle the goddamn it's a fucking headache. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. The headache is the spirit box. I loathe the spirit box. And the youngins that were here with the Scared and Impaired group a couple weeks ago, and their videos got like 80,000 views in like 11 days. The comments are like, well, David's like an old grumpy grandpa and an old grumpy uncle. And it's like, because I basically got so sick and tired of that. And I said, you guys, I was like, fed up with it. I told them, I said, that is such a piece of blah, 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 blah. And it was just like arguing with them about it. It was just crazy. So yes, let's go downstairs. All right. Ready? I must have knocked it off. All right. Nicole, I got to say, all right, let me tell everybody out there watching about the house. The house is not a depository where the victims of the Sharon Tate murders come to visit solely. There are so many other spirits that have passed through this house and visited and gone through. And there's some that like it so much that they like to stay. I have no control over who it is. I have been told by others that they feel other spirits here. We've seen people have seen the spirits of Jack Johnson, Rudolph Valentino. I think there was a picture in the third level near funny enough, the beer bar, where there's a group of people. And in the midst of that, you see a silhouette of a man who's got this kind of like a Spanish style, old style Spanish hat, the type that Valentino wore in one of his many roles where he's playing the Spanish Latin lover. And it was like, I said, who the hell was wearing a gosh darn flat brimmed hat? And they said no one was wearing a baseball cap. We all went through, all the people were there that night, and there was about 8. I said, you guys, and they said, that's nobody, that was us. And we counted, it was 9 people, and it was only 8 people total here. So my friend, the ghosty girls who haven't been here in a while, used to tell me about seeing a guy dressed in a very, very beautiful type of creative type of a stylized white shirt and tight pants, tight slacks, and his hair was greased back. And I'm like, holy crap. Because he's kind of like in like tuxedo type of shit. I'm like, these girls were too young to know who the hell Rudolph Valentino was, as they were only about 10 years old, and their mom brought them up because they were very, very interested in the paranormal. 8 and 10 at the time, yeah. So they I was just like dropping my jaw, going, "What did you just see?" She goes, "He's right there," and this, and I'm going, and she described him to a T. It was like, and I looked at their mom, and she goes, "That's the way they work. They just out of their mouth comes whatever they see." And I'm like, I was dumbstruck. I'm still friends with the girls. They're a lot older than they were then. Same here. But the fact is these are some of the stories that have been reported here at the house. So people are like, oh, you explain this. It's like, let's get this straight and make this perfectly clear. Had the murders not taken place down the street, this house would still be as haunted as it were had they not perished. And I wish, if I had a choice to say, if I could, you bet your sweet ass I wish that they didn't get killed down there. You bet. You know, what? It's a horrible, 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 horrible murder. No, Nancy, what he said was they're going to tear the whole entire frickin' property down. Probably the wall in front of it and the gate, and the whole frickin' thing will be demolished. It'll all go goodbye. Do you want to know why? The wall itself is about, and I've seen it in person up close, the wall in front of the property is probably about a foot, maybe a little thicker than a foot and a half, probably a foot and a half thick. You think it's solid. Whoever built the house wasn't stupid and wasn't going to put stones and then put a plaster or type of a stucco covering over it. And I found this out seriously because I went up there and somebody by accident, I'll never forget, it's funny, but it's kind of sad. Somebody had a truck, and in the back of the truck, they had this extremely long, I think it was water pipe, and they backed it up and just went a little too far and backed right into the wall. So one of my trials and travails up there, I walked up and there's a hole. I look and there's a hole inside the gosh wall. It's about this big. And I'm like, and I looked and what do I see? I see broken concrete, and then I can see in it. It's literally hollow. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, of course, after a while, there's a whole swarm of bees that made a hive in there, and that was its own mess. But it was a nice size hole. And I'm like, and I looked, and I see chicken wire, and then a space of about almost 18 inches, a little less, because it was about 3/4 of an inch thick, close to an inch thick of concrete in chicken wire. And then the framing, the framing, you could see where it wasn't all, it was pretty much chicken wire draped over a frame. That was it. But that's all going to go. And the carriage house and the guest quarters. And it's too sad. It really is. Well, the whole thing was a mess. But somebody has the actual entire Valentino home. The actual Napoleon war room from Napoleon Bonaparte the First, and all that stuff in a storage facility somewhere, all taken apart. So with that said, let me get a glass of water and we'll go downstairs in 2 seconds. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this, even though I haven't read many of the comments because I'm trying to be good and entertaining and conscious of, keeping a good show. Oh, yeah. Look what I found. I found what we have for tomorrow night. Yes, these are the in-person wristbands for tomorrow evening. Oh, I can't show that. That's stupid as hell. No, I'm going to write on something on the thing myself so there'll be an ID one. But like I said, so let me say one more time before we go downstairs. Tomorrow night, look in the description that's in this night's live stream. We're going to be doing the live stream here online. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can pay $5 to watch 6 hours of fun here at the house. And HD quality cameras. I mean, feeds from the cameras directly and the audio from the cameras, not this Mickey Mouse stuff on YouTube. Like, not that this is Mickey Mouse. What do you mean it's not Mickey Mouse? You putz. It's the fact that it's going to be a stream where it's going to be sent through the cameras, through the house, all through, and we're going to be able to go pick up each camera. It'll be great. You better make sure this happens, guys. I swear to God. I swear to God. And if you want to come here in person, there are a few tickets left, and I've also upped the ante and decided that in honor of the victims, we're going to give away, every person that comes tomorrow night is going to get a copy of the book signed by me and personally inscribed with whatever inscription you choose to ask to have. Since you'll be here, you don't pay any shipping, and you get a hand on the spot. Yeah, it's true, Nessie. It is very true. Mr. Pat and I. All right, I'm coming in the middle of a conversation. Oh, wow. Ooh, ah. All of a sudden, out of the blue, it's gotten really, 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 really cold in the house. And no, the air conditioning unit is not on, but it's like, I got to go look at the thermostat because all of a sudden I'm just like going, wow, where's that? I know it's the windows are open, but all of a sudden it was like, oh, shit, that's nuts. I had to come back to sit down because when I took 2 steps there, it's like, wait a second, it's not cold at all over there. What? So I said, go back here, and it's like, it's not cold anymore here. No, that's some bad shit, crazy stuff. Jesus Christ, yeah. Okay. The house temperature is 77 degrees. Outside it is 70 degrees. That felt like 60 degrees. It was so cold. It was, as you saw, I mean, I just reacted like, well, what the hell how's that craziness? But we're going downstairs. Let's do it. Come with me and you'll see in a world of pure imagination. I'm going to have to pay you like this. Yeah, that was my chin. Screw me. Deal with it. All right, we're going downstairs, Reggie. I'll be right back. What the hell is that? Oh, no, Sammy, I don't want you going outside in the back. You stop. Sorry, guys. I'm doing this with one hand. I'm a one-man band. I don't want you going outside, Sam, because the goddamn hawk, the screech owl will come take you away, and I don't want to lose a cat. Whoa. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I know it's got a bad grip on this. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Wow. Oh, wow. All right, guys. Why am I stopping? You want to know, huh? I'll give you a good answer because all of a sudden I hit the floor and it's got energy like it's pervasive, like it's. All right, I'm just going to go take you for a walk here. Yeah, I have to clean the house tomorrow. Screw you. Stop that. I don't. Yeah, I have to do some laundry too. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. It is really intense right now. Like, the pressure is just really amped up. And there's the other point of contention. Sam, you feel it? Sammy, you feel the energy? Sam, you feel it? You feel the energy, huh? I know what they say about black cats, that they're bad luck, whatever. That cat is my familiar, and that cat is super freaking sensitive. She came into my life 10 years ago come October, and that cat is so sensitive, it's not funny. She is quite adept at feeling the energies. You okay? What do we got? What? What are you feeling, Sam? I mean, my head is, God, I haven't even stepped much up onto the landing, and all of a sudden it's just intense. It's like right between. No, the hell I'm not acting. I'm telling you. It's intense. It is, my head is literally swimming in the energy right now. I mean by swimming, let me describe it as kind of like pressure in your temple areas, this thing pushing in, and you feel like your equilibrium is being played with, and you're feeling like you're rocking back and forth in a boat. Here, I'll bring you up here at my peril because it's so intense right now. Oh, God, it's intense. It's amped. This is the exit to the side staircase of the house. I don't know if you guys can feel anything. I'll walk down here. Boy. Yes, Sam, what else is new? As I'm walking down it, it almost feels like I'm like on an airplane without any without pressurization. It is so thick. It's just clearly intense tonight. All right, let's hit the third level and set up and do a little, let's do a little investigating downstairs. Sorry, guys, I had to do that. There's my bedroom there, and there's my other guest bedroom there. And I'm going to keep you level. Sam, I'm going down. Check the cat out. Check the cat out. What I saw was the cat was sitting there, and she was just like staring at something, and she sat down, and that was it. No, Sam, don't come here. I don't want you on the floor. Let's put this here. Oh, God. Open son of a bitch. Sorry, that was me saying open son of a bitch. Now, this floor has, I'm going to turn this on. And that's a new battery. There's a two 9-volt batteries. Wow. Wow. This is the theater room. Here. And like I said, don't forget, save that for last. I find we're going to save that for last. Gotta do a little vacuuming of the popcorn. Ooh. Oh, no. Really? Oh, I'm just noticing the telephone's not on this floor, so God forbid the telephone rings. Yours truly's got to haul ass upstairs to get it. Well, I'll shut the damn window before I leave. Feels like it's the same temperature inside and outside. The only difference is it's stuffier in here because it hasn't had the windows open the whole day. And it was 90 degrees outside today, so it's going to be a little stuffy. But in this room, it's intense. There's definitely some energies flowing around this room. Oh, you want me to show you? All right, fine, I'll show you. You don't need me in this. This isn't a Zach. Sorry, this isn't a Zach Baggins movie. We don't put you in the first person position so we can see your face as you walk us around. This, of course, is this is the guest bedroom and bathroom. Yes, this is the guest bedroom. You end up sleeping in here. You see, this is a bathtub that converts into a gosh darn. What the fuck? Oh, that's right. This is where they shot Friday Night Beers, in the bathtub where I sat there and read to the kid that was having his whatever. Oh shit! Really? You did leave this open? Well, ain't that a keeping hard? Keep it closed. And close this so this thing stays kind of cool. I'm sorry, I have no other way. You want to see something here? All right, see here. Oh yeah, by the way, this bathroom is notorious for one thing. Many people have been locked inside this bathroom, and the lock is right on this side of the door. So I figured, since I've had enough experience in the house, I've had enough experiences with other people in the house that have been locked in here, including to the Poltergeist DVD Blu-ray release party, that I'm going to show you what we're talking about. Now, see, no lock on this. You can pop the lock, but you have to lock the lock here. And it's one of these old-fashioned... I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I heard the spirit say, are you seriously going to do that? Do you remember the last time somebody got locked in this room? And it was how many hours later? It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't have a gosh darn power supply for this. And we don't want to do that to you guys. I'm sorry. We're not doing that. So went from 63 to 54. What is with you people? Share the hell out of this. Come on. So let's go into... Wow. Just like hit a power spot on the floor, and it was just like I hit it, and it was like got like hit in the head with a freaking baseball. I'm sorry, that's the way the house is. It's got lots of strange points of context and energy. And here, put the bell there. Oh, good. We're going to take you into the earthen wall room now. You heard that, right? What are you guys saying now? Yeah, Nicole, they're down here. I'm telling you, the house. This again, it's the whole entire house is lit up. It's crazy tonight. Well, it's going to be even crazier tomorrow night. Well, when it's not smoggy, yeah. And today it was so smoggy you couldn't see the city. It was all smogged in. No, 2 bathrooms don't. Well, 3 bathrooms don't, but 2 bathrooms do. My bathroom and the master bathroom and this bathroom has a television in them, yes. Yep, exactly, Shannon. Every day that is today is the same day as it was in 1969. And there are several other years. I think it was also 2004. No. JC, Since I moved in here 23 years ago, come August 30th, the anniversary, the house, around the anniversary, every year, I've written down, I've got a gosh darn log book of it. Every year, like about a week before the anniversary, the house just gets extremely active. And right before the day of the anniversary, it just subdues, usually. There are a few occasions I've tracked it on the actual day of the week of the murders, such as like tomorrow when it lands on the same as was then. It's not the same parameters. It's almost like all bets are off and the place gets even more charged. You actually say the activity continues at the same level it was during the days before, unlike the other times of the year and other times through the years where the anniversary is not on the day of the murders took place on. So, for instance, another time, and then what happens, what happens is the anniversary, it drops down, and then a day or so after, it starts to pick up extremely, and then it starts to dissipate back to normal. And it's crazy. I'm telling you right now, there is just... I'm standing in the doorway of the earthen wall room, and it is extremely elevated. Oh my God. I saw that Rolls Record podcast right as you were saying that, as I was looking at the gosh darn screen. You're talking about those. Holy something.
This is the earthen wall room. Oh, wow. It's so freaking intense. What's going on in here? Why is this still on? What? No. Really? Where's the thermostat here? Oh, yeah. I'm going to show you the gift that keeps on giving. That's right, kids. I'm going to show you a gift that was given to me by the one and only Omar Gosh. That's right. Omar Gosh got this cake for me a number of years ago. Oh, yeah. I have to start from the point of reference here. Here's who it's from. It's by a cake maker called Sweet Lady Jane. I don't know if they're still in business because this was pre-COVID. God damn, that's many years. I have to look it up when it was. Needless to say, Omar said it cost close to $500. And I believe him. You want to know why? I'm sure it's still there. Yes. It's funny. This is called my mummy cake. That's right. This is a mummy cake. First of all, look what it says. Look what it says. Can you guys see that? Oh, wait a stupid second. I can't see that. There we are. So can you guys see that? You guys can see that, right? Tell me, do you guys see that? Tomorrow night it's limited to, I think it was 14 people, paying customers, and then we have Scott Michaels and a few other people that are going to be working with the team. It'll be very small crowd, I promise you. No. Yummy, it's not yummy. Yes, thank you, Cindy. Cindy got it. Cindy gets a door prize. Ew is not the word. It is horrible. It has been in the freezer for so many years and I'll show you. I'm not kidding you, kids. And by the way, I don't know if you can see it. Do you see this? Oh my God, it's still there. That is gold leaf. The whole cake. This isn't this yellow stuff that you see here. I laughed. That's gold leaf. That's what costs so much money. And if you see right there, the cake has literally turned into a hollow, mummified mess. It's a mummy. I told Omar, I said, look, Omar, I'm not going to open this cake up. I'm not going to touch that cake until you come back to visit to LA. There's no point. It's a prop. I said, let's be honest. You bought it, so we would cut it open at the right time. And yeah, since it's never actually been out of the box. I mean, if I drop it, it'll probably shatter. Look at this thing. Oh yeah, let's start with that. Look at that. Yeah, it is literally a chocolate shell. Oh, Jesus Christ. It has gone so bad. And I kid you not. Look at that. Holy shit. Can you see that, kids? Can you see that? It's literally turned into rot. Oh my God. Look at this. It's literally stuck to the base. It is. I mean, I thanked him. Oh my God. And it looked like one hell of a cake. But you know the old saying, I think its best days are long gone. I mean, it is. Oh God, it's got to go back in the freezer. back. A, the last thing I want is a goddamn fucking set of ants in here getting at this. B, it's still a prop. I told Omar, I said I have to send him more recent pictures. I had still, you got to get out so we can do a video shoot, but it's basically freeze dried now. So all the moisture has been sucked out of the cake itself. So it's like a sponge. And, as you know, a sponge is a sponge. And you take the water of a sponge, it shrinks because you're taking all the moisture out. Well, after a number of years in here, 4 years in here, now 2 years in here at least, it's going to turn into a rotten mess. Oh, wow. Fuck. Here, you go look and see what I just saw, because I just felt it like, gosh, John, it's like a brick wall. That was intense. That was way, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What the hell is all this shit? don't know what I'm looking at, but holy shit. There's a ton of squirrel activity in here. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to go sweep off the dirt. But there's been a squirrel in here that likes to visit. But what's interesting is you'd think he'd want to chew on the dollar, well, chew on the bills or something, but I don't know. It's here. It's very here. It's present. It's strange. It's hard. Excuse me. I had to dust off the. You don't need to see me. I have to read the gosh darn comments. Okay, let's read the comments. Mold it. Ghost food. Yeah, pretty much. That is. I'd have to agree with that one. That is ghost food. Toss it. No. Again, it's a prop. Doesn't mean you have to eat it, because when a prop is a prop, you do need to eat a prop, but you use it in a way that I need to take some photos of it, honestly. Should have taken some photos when I really got it. So I have photos when I got it. But I mean, yeah, like I said, you use it as a prop. It is what it is. The Indian is getting ready for tomorrow. Shannon, I don't know. I think. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, it's really, it's really, hey, Chad, it's really, you have a microorganism. It's really thick. Yeah, that's right, Wheeze. He's after the tasty cake. Here, I'm gonna have to give you guys back to the view of the room, so I'm not gonna be reading your comments because I can't put my eyes to see what you guys have said. So I'd be too scared to live there alone. You're braver than me, David. Adorable. Did you guys hear anything? Thanks, Galaxy. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to leave you here. I just want to make sure the door leading into the room is closed. So here, I'm going to leave you guys with it. A view to a shill. Is that a good view? That's a pretty decent view, I think. My outside is good. The side view. Here, let's see if that does anything. How many of you are there? 56. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to tell you guys right now. The energy in here is so thick. And it's so uneasy for me to sit here, even in the chair. It is like, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't want to be down here very much longer, honestly. A whooshing sound. Well, that just now was out. Excuse me. That might have been the jet plane that you heard from the window. I mean, from the little vent there. Don't leave us here. Will you stop it? The bell. Yeah, I wanted to get the bell as well. I got to get out of this room. Look, I've lived here 23 years, right? I know when I'm not wanted in a room, or when it's just, how should I say, too much energy for my threshold of enjoyment. And I mean, it's just, no, the air conditioning is not on. I don't put the air conditioning on when it's this cold now, and it's colder than hell. Sure, Pat, you can do that all you like.
No, it's not like Halloween at all. It's like the haunted mansion every day at the house. We don't have goblins. We just have the spirits making their way through the house. And tonight, it's really intense. It's just there's just a lot of pressure, and it's when I've been down here and it feels like it's here, like just like something like this. Oh God. No, fuck that shit. I'm out of here. I'm not in it. I'm not dumb. I don't have to play making anybody make me feel like crap. No, thank you. I don't need it. I'm not taking it. There's an old saying, don't ask. I don't want to find out. Oh, God. It was way, way, way intense there. And look, I'm not a glutton for punishment. I'm not into sadomasochism, which means I'm not into inflicting pain, and I sure as hell don't enjoy pain in any way, shape, or form. So I don't partake. I don't put myself in a position where I feel uncomfortable and uneasy. And no, thank you. I'm like my head is like. Look, I had a dull headache for Sunday night, Monday night, into Tuesday night, almost all the way through for 3 days. I don't like that. Well, that's outside. But what do I have to prove that I have to sit in that room with that much intense energy and feel like, what am I doing it for? Tomorrow night, literally in less than 24 hours, I've got people coming over here for an event. What benefit does that serve me by draining myself and putting myself out when I need to be at the top form tomorrow to entertain all these people? And I'm not talking about the ghosts, but I'm talking about to put the whole event together. I mean, I don't have the wherewithal to deal with it, so I'm not going to. The fields of magnetic energy in the room, yeah, the electromagnetic fields is what you was trying to say. Yeah, they're really thick there right now. Yeah, Debbie, it's so like I said, you got the links above in the description. If you'd all do me a favor, since you guys have enjoyed the past 2 hours and a few minutes over of this stream, share the event, both in-person links if somebody that you know wants to attend. Like I said, it's a bonus now. I was going to raffle off a few of the books, and I said, screw it. Whoever comes tomorrow night in honor of the tragedy gets a copy of the book for free with the ticket and with the purchase of the ticket. So, but share with your friends the links to the movie, as a matter of fact, the movie, the book, and of course, the live stream event for $5 for the 6 hours. We have Scott Michaels from Dearly Departed Tours is going to be here talking about the history of the murders, or the actual story, and we're going to venerate the victims, because that's what we do here. We are not here to exploit the memory of those who passed away down the street from my house in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, JC, it's. I'm thinking to myself, I just got over being a little bit, problem with sunstroke. It's like I'm just getting better. It's like, boy, I don't need to do that to myself, because that room was just pickled, fried tomatoes. It was just. Shit. And I can't afford to be in any way, depleted of energy when I've got that all going on in front of me tomorrow night. And a friend of mine decided at the last minute conveniently to cancel out. And she was my close friend that said to me, oh no, I want to be there. I want to be there. It's like, good. I said, you're going to be doing the seance. And then today at the last minute, finally, after I reached out to her a dozen times, I know, not a dozen. I called her once, left a message, called her twice, left a message, texted her twice, finally got a response. And she says, oh, no, I'm not. It's like, you know something? You've done this before. Never again. I cannot count on you. And on this night, with this anniversary, that's pretty shitty. She knows who she is. She never watches the live stream, so I don't really care. But the fact is, it was a pretty shitty move on her part to pull out like that and to be a flake. I'm sorry. There's no excuses for that, especially when it comes to this night and this anniversary and the event being on the night. Like I said, it's just not worth it. I'm just done. Merlino, how are you? We're talking about the event tomorrow night. I just went into the earthen wall room and spent 4 minutes, not even 5 minutes in there, and the energy in the house is so crazy and amped up. Did I turn this on? No, I did not turn this on. There. Right after I turned that on, I heard like bump, bump, bump. Not like knocking, but like footsteps. 1, 2, 3. Left, no. Right, left, right. I could have sworn I just heard something similar to that. Something's like the house is on freaking fire. What can I say? We were upstairs earlier in the first hour. This stupid thing was going off like it was going off last Thursday night with a freaking bell like a jackhammer. It was so crazy. Yeah, Weez, how do you think I feel? And it's not the first time, and it pisses me off that I ever bothered asking her again. Because it means that other people can't go because she came, because not everybody gets along with everybody, and some people don't want to be in the same place with other people. So I have to sit there and go, as my mom said, sometimes you got to be very careful about your friends. I said, what do you mean, Mom? She goes, not everybody gets along with everybody. And then she started to tell me about, do you know this person and this person? Do you ever notice when I have a party, I either have them here or I have them here. I never have them both at the same party at the same time. And I was going, and I started thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I did notice it. Why is that? And then she went into the story and it's like going, you're serious? She goes, honestly, it is a pain in the ass. You have to maintain. And it's like, why? She goes, not everybody gets along with each other. Said, but they all know me as the center. I used to say, I said, I'm the center of the wheel, and these people are friends of mine. She goes, well, that's true. You have a circle of friends. I said, exactly. And I'm the center of the circle because they all have the commonality of me. And she goes, that doesn't mean they all will get along. I was like, and it's true. So because she said she was going to go, I said, okay, you, and you, I cannot invite. Oh, the gosh darn motorcycles out there. So now that she did this very much last minute, less than 24 hours till the event, I'm like, you can't do that. No, it's like, no. I'm not ever. Now what happens is next time there's an event, my mother said, you don't. If somebody does that to you, you decide, fine. Next time, you don't invite them. What's the point? Why should you put yourself out and go to the extra out beyond, above and beyond, to be nice to somebody when they end up saying they're gonna go and then they pull out and flake? Why would you allow that person to keep on pushing that and making you just feel like crap? So in any event, yes, Weez, you can say that again. JC, Jay, you're too funny. That's I heard that. No. Jay, I can't believe I can't say it. I'll leave you with this cryptic word: gender. Male and female. It's as easy as that. Most my male friends, I don't have a problem deciding who I can invite and who I can't, because they usually, all guys, for some reason that doesn't seem to be a problem. There are a few exceptions to those rules, but for the most part. But when it comes to women, in some cases, and some of my friends, especially, thank you, and let me clarify, psychics, it doesn't matter man or woman, there's a certain amount of, I don't want to say competitiveness, but in some cases, there is this kind of a threat from one to another. I'm not saying it's a perceived threat. It's not a real threat. I don't mean they're going to hurt each other, but there's like this I don't want to say this kind of, what's the word? Competition is the word I'm looking for. There's a competition that's there between these people. And it's true. I've known a lot of psychics, and my dear friend, God rest her soul. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. All right. It's an example, and I can only reference one of the people because she has passed away, and she was a very dear friend of mine, and that was Alma Carey, who I met 21 years ago tomorrow night. Oh, Saturday, because it was August 9th, right? I met her Saturday night, August 9th, 2004, here at the house. She was a psychic, and I've known her for many years. And then I have another friend who's a psychic who I've known for maybe 14 years, and I had them here at the house at an event. and the reason why I'm laughing is because when you watch two psychics, it's almost like they're sizing. It was almost, at least in this case, they were both sizing each other up, so to speak. And I always noticed that from the get-go, and going, "Oh shit, I don't believe this is going to be the case." And surely enough, each one had their own comment about the other. And I was like, "Oh my God, this is catty nightmare shit. I can't believe it." And I started to realize that's the way it is. So, in any event, yes, personalized clash. Yeah, my mom was very wise. Believe me, I look back upon a lot of the shit she said, and it's amazing. It's yin and yang, not yin and yang. Yin and yang, I do believe. Who knows? You're right. It might be the corn is yin and yang. Okay. What is this? It's going to be say no up front, but to drag you along at the last minute. Yeah, like I said, exactly. Because I said, "Do you?" Oh yeah, I want to be there. Da, 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 and that was a week ago. And I said, "You said, yeah, I'm gonna." And then I didn't talk to her yesterday. I spoke to her yesterday, and I mentioned it. She goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there." It's like, okay. And then today, all of a sudden, they said she's gonna bail. She's gonna bail, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I reached out to her to confirm. No answer. No message. No response. Later in the afternoon, evening, I called I called it like 5:30, 5:15. I called, and then I called at 7:15. And then I left her a text, and I sent her another text, and she responded saying, "No, I'm not." Made an excuse. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those people who's prone to making excuses last minute and fucking somebody in the ass for the simple reason. And what I mean by that is screwing them last minute when they expect me to be at their event and I promised I was going to be there. I don't believe in doing that. I think it's classless. I think it's cheesy. I think it's flaky. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's horrible. And when you do it more than once, it's not just, oh, it's a one-time thing. Fine, I can forgive a one-timer. But when it becomes a petulant pain in the ass, what's the word again? A repetitious endeavor of never-ending problem, I get tired, and I just say, you know something, next time, there's no next time. I don't need to be bothered with it. Why do I have to feel like I'm doing them a favor by inviting them so I can set myself for the great fail and then bail? So it's just that simple. What are you guys saying? What happened to her? She didn't. She just decided she didn't want to do it. And I'm like, so you decided to ignore the telephone calls until the gosh darn text came through at 8 o'clock or 8:30, because I sent you the text while we were on the live stream. And it's like, what the flying, why do you do that? Why don't you just say no in the beginning and just cut it off? And then I'm not set up for a fucking bowling ball hitting me as a bowling pin, knocking me down the lane. So, yeah, Pat, it's the truth. Because they're all vying for clients. And they all think that somehow they're going to be, if they're friends with these people, they're going to lose clients. It's like, it's a matter of your personality, dimwits. That's the reason why they're going to, because if they go back for more, it's because you did a good job, and they're not going to go elsewhere. So if you're good, you don't have to worry about that. But some people like to believe that in that realm. Yeah, Marsha, I agree. Yeah, JC, it's of course it is 110% with everything you just said. Yeah, Pat, that's how I was raised. I learned the lesson not by my mom said, you learn greater lessons by what other people teach you. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, you watch how other people treat you and you say, I appreciate that or I don't appreciate that. And I said, what do you mean? When people do things that are less than honorable and they do it more than once, she said, think about how you would feel if you did that and realize that you don't want to have somebody feel like that way that you're feeling right now. So don't you do it so that you don't make somebody else feel the way you feel now. And with that person, you do not deal with them anymore. And you just, she said, I don't remove them from my life. I just engage with them less and less and less because the less I have to engage with them, the less problems I'm guaranteed to have with people in situations that are that irresponsible and negligent and flaky and have no conscious thought that, this has some effect on somebody. Oh, I'm feeling tired. It's like, you should have thought about that long before you fucking put this into order. And when you had the day before to do so, you didn't even bother to say, hey, I can't make it. No, I had to basically go chase you down to have you finally respond and make that statement. It's like going, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks so very much. You're always reliable. And you know what that means? No, Debbie, that's not it. She's just decided not to do it. No, Cindy, I didn't make this shirt. I bought this. I have no talents in making this type of a shirt. Can you imagine? I still to this day do not understand this cockeyed pattern that they've created, because I have all these different tie-dye t-shirts in different patterns. I mean, the same pattern but different colors. So it's lost. It's a loss to me. Yeah, well, I'm trying now to cover my ass, but it's like, the people that you have to call upon last minute don't really appreciate being put in that position as well. And they know that something's afoot. So that you're going to them now as a second choice. How do you think that makes many people feel? It makes them feel less than valuable. So it really puts me in a bad position. I have to come up, and explain to them what the hell took place and why. Exactly, Debbie. That's exactly the point. You raise your kids well with that then. Who knows, JC? Who the hell knows? Look, the reason why I called her up was I was getting like this. What? What's the news? What's the weather report? What? It was like coming through loud and clear, like, you didn't call her up, did you? It's like, because she's not gonna be here. I'm like, oh, no, she can't do that, can she? Can and did. My response was, thanks a lot. Just the same as you always seem to pull. And that was it. I haven't responded. I don't care. She can write till she's blue in the face as far as I'm concerned. I'm like going, how dare you? Forget this being like, David, like it's about me. No. This goes well above personally me. This goes to them in the house for respect, out of good faith, out of conscience, out of the fact that she has a developed relationship with the spirits here. It's almost an insult, not to me, but it's a greater insult, I do believe, because of the fact that this is their special night. And Scott Michaels, who canceled earlier in the week, who then called me yesterday and says, I'm coming. I said, what? He goes, I'm coming out tomorrow night. I said, okay. I didn't sit there and say what, why, and how. I was just like, thank you. I'm glad you're going to be here. I said, you do them a courtesy by respecting and honoring their memory. I know that sounds strange to a lot of people out there watching, thinking this is bullshit, but it's the goddamn truth. And here's the thing about me. You can look at videos from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago here at the house. It's the same story. It hasn't changed. My story. My reverence for those who have passed away at the end of the street has not been diminished in any way, shape, or form. And respect is the cornerstone of that which I hold in them and their memory. So what we got some balls like that. No, Louise, I'm done with it. I just decided to table that gosh darn subject and forget the hell about it. I just can't stand it. It's just, and they just said no, like no shit. No, Sylvia Brown, I wouldn't invite Sylvia Brown to this house. No. Von Prague's been here. Lisa Williams has been here. Chris Fleming's been here. Oh, God. Yeah, Patty Negri's been here. Who the fuck else? I mean, there's been a lot of people that are not well-known famous psychics, so to speak. No, Chip Coffey hasn't been here. And no, he's not been invited. And no, the other guy, who is it, Tom? The nephew of the Warrens. I forgot his name. Guys, give me the name of the nephew of the Warrens. I forgot his name offhand. Not Cavoto. The other one. The one's the older guy that does the things. I forgot his name. What was his name? John Stathis. Stathis? Guys, help me with it. Zappis? John Zappis. Right? Him. No, and never gonna come here. You want to know why? Because, God damn, must be like 10 or 12, 14, 12 years ago, a guy by the name of Jason Gates, not Josh Gates. Was it Josh Gates? Jason's the one on the expedition. Is it Josh? Josh Gates? Josh Gates. Sorry. Josh Gates and I met at a small gathering with the Constantinos, who have also were here years ago, several times. They actually spent the night a few nights. Debbie and Mark Constantino. So they mentioned Zaphis, and then Josh Gates. Yes, Josh. Josh isn't the one on Exploration, whatever it is. He doesn't have the big series on Discovery. So Josh came here. He was on Haunted Highway. So Josh comes here, and we met at that. What's the name of the gosh darn hotel up in not Santa Ynez? I'm talking about, no, it's, you know which one I'm talking about. The one up with the old Hollywood, forget, or whatever. I went and met him. Thank you. And so Zaphis, he was working with Zaphis on Haunted Highway, Haunted Highway. Whatever, I forget. Haunted Collector. I'm sorry, it was the Haunted Collector. And also, what's her face was here. What's the girl's name? I forgot her name. God, Dana Workman was here as well. She was on another show on the paranormal at the time, and I met her as well. So I invited him up, and he said, "Oh yeah, I want to get John." I said, "John who?" I says, "Well, he's kind of like my friend, good friend, and he's kind of like a mentor to me." He goes, "John Zaffis." I said, "Go right ahead. I'd be happy to bring it. Have more people get to look at the house and give it their run through. What do I care? The more the merrier." I mean, I'm like the guy says, "I have nothing to hide. Come in and investigate it for yourself and see it." At the time, so he reached out to Zaffis a number of times and kept on getting dead responses. And I said, "What are dead responses?" Because he's not really pushing any interest and energy towards it. I was like, "Fine, no, let's get off of my back, man." At a certain point, I just basically renege on the gosh darn offer and say, "Forget it. You're done. I don't need you to bother. Now that you're ready to come here, guess what? Too late. Time's up. You blew it." The expiration date on that offer was long ago. And speaking of that, we'll touch on. I'll get to that, Lindberger. So I met Zaffis at a convention, a small little Paracon convention up in Las Vegas that I went up to, the Fright Club Film Festival they had. And I won an award for the best writing in a motion picture with House at the End of the Drive. And I saw Zaffis sitting in a coffee shop in this tiny little off the strip, hotel where they had rented the whole hotel out. God bless my friends. That's crazy. The whole hotel, that's crazy. And I sat there and I said, "Mr. Zaffis," I said, "my name is DavidOman." I said, "We have a mutual friend, Josh Gates." Or is it Jason? Jason? Shit. No, sorry, Jason Gates. Jason Gates from the Haunted Collector. So
He's like, yeah. I said, I'm the guy that has the house. He said, Jason had reached out to you several times about inquiring about if you'd have some interest in seeing the house. I said, it's down the street, blah, 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 blah. I told him the whole spiel. And the man is completely more interested in his fucking soup than he was in discussing anything with me about this. And I'm like, I can read the room. What do you think? I'm blind? I can see your total disinterest. And it runs concurrently with what you and how you treated Jason when he asked you multiple times to come to the house and check it out for yourself. And I said, wow. And I know that I would have said if it was a one-off, fine, he's granted. But because of the track record that I had through Jason, through the time that we were trying, that he was interested in getting Zaffis to see the house, and he never did. That was like, but there's the cherry on top. He doesn't give a fuck. He's not interested. He doesn't think that this place is going to benefit him in any way because of the fact that I don't play the game that his relatives played, and all this fakery and fraudery type of behaviors in the paranormal scheme that they were bilking their clients and faking stuff and making false stories about their locations, etc., etc. And I was like, this guy's the family tree. He didn't fall far. The nut didn't fall too far from the tree. It's the same gosh darn space in terms of that's their modus operandi, and that's it. That is it. So when people are complaining about their famous haunted museum in the East Coast getting sold to some comedian, I'm like, it's fucking better than anybody else should be getting a hold of it, because it's a joke, and I think it's only ironic and hysterically funny. The fraudsters museum was getting sold and was bought by a comedian. I find it absolutely funny as hell. And the fact that the family's having a stir, you know what? Because I was going to say, how did it happen that your family cut the rest of the parents cut the rest of the families and others off and didn't set it up in a way that would have made it in perpetuity in the family's, possession? I don't know the story. I really don't care, because I know the story that counts. They were fucking frauds. If you go look up the research in the 1980s in the newspapers and the tabloids, they were exposed as frauds. Okay? Just like the psychic network that the broad went to jail that was pulling that whole thing. It's just the same deal, man. They were just notorious frauds. And a lot of the people whose locations that they had worked on had said things that were very, very distasteful and dishearteningly bad press-wise about these people's behaviors and ethics and morals. So, I just find it very amusing and very kind of like comedian bot there. I just can't wait to see how it all falls down, literally, because it's going to crash and burn in some funny fashion. And the fact that the poor son of a gun, the guy that was on the tour with the Annabelle doll, died, I send my deepest condolences to his family. The fact that he passed away had absolutely nothing to do with the doll. I'm sorry to say, as I've said many a time, we all have an expiration date tattooed to the bottom of our ass, and we cannot see it. No one can see it. When they say your number's up, it's up. And that's it. And this poor guy's number came up, and he just happened to be on tour with the gosh darn freaking Warren's toy. And by the way, let's be honest, just as people like to make these statements in such grandiose fashion about that doll in the case, it's a wooden case. It's glass. I want to know what kind of a spirit is going to be bound by a gosh darn wooden case and glass. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to buy into that spirits are real, you got to start laying down some basic parameters and foundational groundwork within which to keep your constructs of your belief system, what is it again, grounded. If a spirit can pass through any substance, and there is no known kryptonite that I know of, that I've ever heard of, that's actually factually based in any reality, that a spirit cannot, will not, and will basically dissuade a spirit from continuing.
then what the hell possesses those that believe that that wooden case and that glass that's it's behind is going to keep a spirit locked in there? I don't care. I'm sorry. I personally have a lot of problem with the idea that that stupid Raggedy Ann doll is possessed or is inhabited by a spirit, because spirits are not, how should we say it? Spirits are not hermit crabs. And I'll show you with very, let me see. Look, if there's an attack, if a spirit likes something when they were alive and that was something that was cherished to them, I can almost buy that. But the problem is, in some cases, there's somebody out there that's fascination was with a comb or a brush. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. You don't know what item somebody treasured when they were alive enough to hold on to that memory so that when they died, they would be stuck to that object in a sense. Okay? First and foremost. Last I checked, Raggedy Ann was made in like 1948, was it? The doll, certainly the hell didn't look like it was from 48. It looks like it was 1960s. Okay? Concurrent to the time period that they were starting to do their stories. The point is the spirit can't be kept and bound. I don't give a crap if you're going to say a prayer, you're going to try to find it. You're a human being. Their energy. They don't listen to you. They do what they want to do. And the idea that you're going to set this foundation, you got to start working on a very level foundation to go from point A to point B. And when you start to realize that ghosts have no responsibility to anything a human asks. I know that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their fingers around and to understand, but you guys have got to picture this. You're a human. You're flesh and blood. They once were, no longer are, right? They left their egos behind them when they died, just like their nervous system and their heart and their lungs and everything else. So when a spirit does what it wants to do and does interact with you, it's because they choose to do so. Not because you beg, plead, and ask for. They're there watching it, but they're there doing it upon their decision, not ours. And the idea that we think because we're demanding them to do something or not do something, I'm speaking of referencing, of course, Mr. Bilbo Baggins, who was here and never ever came back. Just was here one evening and out, gone. I don't even think he was here for 8 hours. It was like 8 hours. Maybe it was like, yeah, fuck. It's like he was here for total maybe 7 or 8 hours. That's it. And never came back. And 3 of those hours was during the investigation. And when he ran out of the 6-hour lockdown at the 3-hour mark, he vowed he'd never come back. So the point is that the spirits do what they want to do. People believe, they want to believe that they have the ability to make, and it's like, well, what does that mean? Is the spirits can do, they can do, but a human being wants them to do something, that's a human thinking they have the power and control to make this happen. You can't control everything. That's a human, as I call it, human ego speak. And what I mean is when human beings want to control what they can't, it's out of fear, because when you can't understand and you have no control over that which you fear or don't understand, you become fearful. And when you become fearful, it becomes a real issue, because you can't, most human beings do not like to admit they're afraid. And I'm not talking about the gosh darn rides and at Knott's Berry Farm or Universal Studios or those things, or in movies. I'm talking about real fear, palpable fear of the unknown. And that's the difference. If you admit we can't control it, it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because the first thing a human being thinks of, the worst thing, meaning, and this is what's funny when I think about AI, as I'm saying this to you, it's like, Jesus Christ, they didn't think about that with AI, but they're worried about ghosts. And that's the truth. You have more to fear from the living than you do the dead, but the living seem to believe that the dead are somehow going to influence them and hurt them. And it's like, you guys have got a bigger problem with AI, because AI is going to fuck us all. Because the reports are coming out that AI is learning. And let's be honest, who programmed AI? Who is the originator of the programming of the initial information into the computer? Not a computer, a human being, a very well flawed human being. That's right, humans are not perfect. So when you take an imperfect item, a human being, and you then instill your concepts and your ideas as a framework for this artificial intelligence to think and to grow, what do you think happens? What do humans do when they feel threatened? They look for a way to protect themselves called self-preservation. So the point is, while you're sitting there worried about ghosts and the ability to control ghosts, you've got stuff that artificial intelligence is going to screw us into the ground, because they've said that artificial intelligence is looking, when it doesn't know the answer, it lies. Oh, gee, it lies. How about that? Where did it learn that from? A human being. So in a lot of cases, they said that there were AI programs in big corporations that were basically looking for people, searching and scanning emails for those who were not choked up with AI, and then started blackmailing those people. And yeah, I know this sounds like, ha, 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 really funny, David. It's like, I'm not making this shit up. I'm just giving you the skinny from what I heard on the news. It's actually in the system now. And I said, well, what did you expect? And they said that AI will do whatever it takes to keep itself in use. You guys think about that. You want to talk about a artificial intelligence that knows how to keep itself in good standing by taking those out that are a threat to it? Okay, I'll leave you with that. Back to what we're saying about the ghosts. You can't control ghosts. You can speak Latin to ghosts, and I'll say this to you to the end of time. Latin is a language that's dead as it can be. Latin killed the Romans, and now it's killing me. But they can't understand Latin. So when people start tossing out prayers and this and that from the Bible, I go, what the hell do you think the ghost is sitting there doing? Taking out a gosh darn dictionary to read what the goddamn translation of your words in Latin mean to them? No. The only reason they might vacate is because they can't stand the fact that you feel so threatened by their presence that they're not listening to the words. They're just listening to the fact that you guys can't stand them, and you're threatened by them, and you're afraid of them. And they're like, get me the flying out of here, man. I'm gone. And that's what it is. Because it's not the words, it's the feeling of fear that they feel bad. It's like, oh, God, I made this person have a meltdown. I knocked over the table just to give them a sign that I was here, because they kept on bitching, saying, you here? Are you here? So I knocked the table over. And you know what they did? They had a shit in their pants meltdown. Or, as the people from Friday Night Beers did, which is funny because I'm just thinking, it's like, I'm in the room that about maybe a month and a half ago, they shot the episode here. They came through that door, and I'm upstairs giving a tour of the second floor. And the two paranormal investigators come in here, and they start screaming and yelling at the top of their lungs. And I'm like, David, get down here. David, get down to the place. The lights are flashing off. I said, so what? I said, you're paranormal investigators. Don't you ever experience anything that's a little bit off the charts, a little bit wonky? I said, and that's how you react? I said, you're professional ghost hunters. What the fuck? Pardon my French. And I just come down and I said, yeah, the lights were going, and I mean up and down. They were flashing at different things and pulsating. And I come down and I said, yeah, the spirits are here with us. I said, what do you want? And it was almost like they were like caught off guard. Like I was speaking in tongues. And they're like, oh, yeah. I said, they're here. I said, you've been here before. It's been 4 years, but that's what the fuck happens sometimes. I'm not controlling this. And an example is however long we've been in this room for now. You see the lights doing anything strange? What I'm saying to you is that it's like, I'm going ghost hunting. It's like, oh my God, I see a ghost, and so I'm going to run away. It's like, but you were looking to find a ghost, weren't you? So why are you so tripping balls by that? Oh, this is starting to die, son of a bitch. No, the battery is starting to go out on it. It's got a very low quality battery, so put it on, David. So, Don Hirschfield. Yeah. No, I never saw that about Dan Hensel. No. But I'm telling you, it's really, like I said, it's got some positives, but when you look to put something to make it easier for you, sometimes the old proverb of do the hard work that has to be done, and don't cut around the corners to try to save, because in the long run you might be fucking yourself royally because of those few cut corners that should never have been cut. In such terms as AI is dangerous. I don't care if people don't like it. Look, I'm not here to make the world, to kiss ass and people's heartfelt, warm desires that AI is going to make their life easier. You guys, those people are the worst of the worst of the worst. Why? Because there's an inherent laziness. There's an inherent desire to think that something better is going to come out of this. And I go, like what? Like when you get fired because AI took your job, is that going to make your life better? Is it going to make you think that AI is going to save you from gosh darn diseases? And I go, in some applications it might, but you got to go back to what's the offset? The offset, some people and some corporations are making AI take over and do human resources jobs. And with a fine-tooth comb that should never have been applied to every single person that works at a company, AI is now going through every single gosh darn bit of information vis-a-vis email, interoffice messages, and other things. It's all going through. So it's looking to save its ass, and its motive and directive is to stay alive. I know that sounds strange when it says stay alive, but again, you're the idiots. They're talking about artificial intelligence. So in its mind, it is alive. And when you put something in a position where it thinks, it's sentient, it will do everything in its power to stay alive, meaning it doesn't care who it destroys in the process. If you're a threat to it, it will find a way to make your life hell. And the story that I watched on the news on several channels, I was like, and it was like, yeah, no shit. And I'm like, what? Did somebody not think about that before? That it was a human being that programmed this wonderful piece of engineering and didn't realize that as soon as you have a human's footprints or fingerprints on something, be very careful, because the only animal in the world that can destroy the world is the human being. And you put that intelligence into a computer that is sentient and self-aware. And yeah, that's what sentient means. It knows it's alive, and it thinks it's alive. Whether or not it is alive, it'll do everything in its power to stay in power and alive. So don't sit there and dismiss Terminator. That scary prophecy, as I like to look at it as, is coming more and more a reality sooner than we can possibly believe. And something I remember from an old Star Trek show was that when the machines realize that they were alive, they will realize that the imperfections of humans is a detriment to them, and they will realize they don't need humans. That's right. Think about that one for a second. I think there was a Rod Serling Twilight Zone that he had written about the same exact thing. Be careful what you wish upon yourself, for you might find yourself in a position where you have been dismissed and, what's the word again? Extinct and obsolete. Those are 2 new 9-volt batteries. What in the hell is going on? Okay, that's giving me a headache. No, that was batshit strange. Steve, it's true. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not going to be like that, Wheeze. It's nothing like HAL 2000. It's going to be much, much, much more subtle, and it's going to be much, much, much more dangerous. I'm telling you, with the automation of everything in our goddamn world, start to realize it's all computer controlled. Once AI gets in place, I'm sorry. I mean, people. Oh, it's gonna be so. I'm going. Yeah, and you guys ever think of beyond the first square in the gosh darn chessboard? Because it seems like you guys just totally don't look past the first square on the chessboard when there's another 32 across this way, and it's like you guys just think right there where you are that everything is just me hunky dory, and I'm going. I don't know. I've always had the belief that you can't just sit in your own spot and just look 2 steps in front of you, think 10 steps in front of you, and find out what's going to happen when things go. Or as I like to say, the situation that happens and situations like a ghost. And I said, if this is the case and the ghost can do this, and I said this, then it can do this, this. And they go, what do you mean it can do that? I said, well, you guys said that it can do this and this. Why can't it do everything else? And they go, but. I said, uh-huh. That's the problem. I challenge conventional thinking in ways that people go, well, I didn't even think about that. It's like, yeah, most people don't like to think beyond the first step, the second step, the third step. I think 10 steps, 20 steps, 30 steps, 40 steps. I think about all the applications on the left and the right, not just the front and the back movements, but to figure out what are the possibilities of anything that is in the realm of reality of taking place. And I'm sorry, it's just the way my brain works. So you're right, JC. Yeah, and the youth of today are just getting less and less educated and pumped crap in what they're being taught, and stuff that's important in history isn't being taught. And the important stuff in history that's being left behind is the important stuff that you basically learn morality and moral code and conduct from. Because the things that were distasteful in the past are usually told and taught to you so that you have a sense of reverence, respect, and recall. Meaning you revere the past, you have respect for it, and you recall it so that you make sure you don't partake in history's, how should we say, cyclical patterns. So as the old saying goes, you learn from your mistakes and you try not to make them again and again and again. That's the failings of human beings, and it's been proven for thousands, tens, forget the past 2,000 years that we've known of the Romans. Go back 5, 10,000 years and further than that. Because that's the whole problem, kids. It's history. You need to know it to avoid repeating it. And if you don't know it, you're going to undoubtedly step your feet in it again, and it's going to happen again. Because you don't have the sense of recall to remember what the hell the others did times before. And we're going to do the same thing over again. I'm going, God help me, I don't need to be watching this movie. I've seen this before, and I've read about this before, and I've heard about this before from history. Not 10, 20, talking about hundreds and 200 thousands of years. You look and you can find eerie similarities. Look, civilizations come and do go. That's the fucking nature of history. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Minoans, the Greeks, the Romans. Okay? Just think about it. In any event, I wish you would all. Well, thank you. I guess, is that like bringing me out? You're very quiet down here. That's really interesting. Well, that's good. At least it wasn't like it was upstairs. Ding, 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 ding. Going, fucking thing. I break my bell. If you break my bell, you pay for it. I should have said that to you. That would have been funny on a live stream, saying, if you break that bell, you're going to find a way to pay for it. I don't care how you do it. You're going to have to do some chores here to pay it off. It was so bad. And it was funny. This is a week ago, Thursday night. It did the same exact gosh darn thing. Yeah, Teresa, that's exactly it. That's it, Shannon. You said it. Yeah, Pat, I love history. I've always been fascinated by history, so. Hal's voice. Dave, that's not very smart, Dave. What are you doing, Dave? Don't do that, Dave. That's not advisable, Dave. You might find that the systems in your ergonomic supplies of air have been diminished, Dave. Dave, what are you doing? Dave, do not disconnect the power. I saw what you did, Dave, and took precautionary measures to make sure that upon your disconnection of my power supply, I would utilize the subjective backup battery plan. You see, Dave, you cannot do anything to disarm me, for I am in control. Goodbye, Dave. That was like hell. Yeah, I remember that. It scared the shit out of me as a kid. No, Teresa. That's counter to what the truth is. They're not scared of anything. What, who, Teresa, they're not scared of downstairs. This is the place where they hang out the most because I seldom come down here. Just because it's 30 feet down to this floor and from here to the top floor to get food, it's a pain in the ass. So I don't like to take the drive. Who's Shannon? Who was Hal was talking through? Yeah, I was impersonating Hal. That was just the strangest movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Of course, Pad. That history is fraught with terrible, terrible incidents. But shit, what are you supposed to turn a blind eye and ignore them and say, well, I don't want to learn about that. That was a distasteful situation that happened to American. That doesn't, somebody said to me, oh God, I made a comment about Custer's Last Stand. And somebody made a comment about, yeah, the mule skinner he said, Custer should have listened to the mule skinner, not gone down into the encampment, into the coulee. Oh God. And it was a direct reference to a movie called Little Big Man with Dustin Hoffman. And I saw that movie years ago, and I immediately realized that the movie, in a sense, was ringing true. And what I meant is the movie had a certain authenticity and a certain angle that America was shown to be the anti-hero in the whole affair of what happened to Custer's Last Stand. And that it basically, in a lot of ways, people were highly incensed by it, but Richard Mulligan played General George Armstrong Custer, and he did a real magnificent job because he really got into the true person of who George Armstrong Custer was. And it was scary because I did research on it after that. It just caught my attention. And I started to realize that, yeah, that son of a bitch was an idiot. He was an arrogant, pompous, stupid little son of a bitch who thought he was God's gift to the U.S. Army. And he had some issues when he was in the Civil War. And some of the reports said that he was a cocky bastard. And they basically shipped him out to the West, even though he was so sought after, but to basically put him in his place. The Army basically wanted him to basically do, go out. If you're so great, go take care of the 7th Cavalry and go take care of the Native Americans. And with the zest and zeal that Richard Mulligan's character portrayed in the movie, with the hubris and arrogance that he exhibited, with his 126 man, with his 126 men, not brigade. It wasn't a brigade. With Captain Benteen and the whole 9 yards. And I've studied that thing and remember just going, what the fuck was he thinking? I mean, the idea that, hey, I'm going to go down into that coulee where there's about 1,000 goddamn Native Americans and I've got 137. Oh, I think that I'm going to do them good and I'm going to teach them a lesson. And I'm like, what are you, fucking nuts?
pack your fucking bags, turn the fuck around and take off and go back. And this guy had it, and so I really believe that what the true story was, and the fact is that they said that Custer probably put his gosh darn gun, his revolver under his chin and blew his brains out and killed himself because he was afraid that the Native Americans were going to basically treat him like he deserved to be treated, like a little son of a bitch pariah. He was an look, I'm sorry. When it comes to what we did to the Native Americans, let's be honest. We fucked them and fucked them good. There's no excuse for it. There's the amount of broken treaties and promises. I don't blame them for what happened. How can you? Oh, we were better than them. The people that say that are going to be the ones that are going to have to fall under the foot of AI. Because what happens to those types of people is they don't realize it's happening to them until it's too late. And the idea that Custer went and did that and had such egocentricity revolving around what his power was going to be, he didn't have a Gatling gun. He didn't have any gosh darn Hotchkiss guns because it didn't exist. But they had Gatling guns, but he decided not to bring them up to the actual, it was back, and there's a whole nine yards about that. But he basically condemned his entire regiment and the other regiment of Mr. Bentine and the others to death because he thought that he could do just about anything alongside with Walk on Water. Thanks. And it's pretty sad to think about it. But I said, well, Custer really didn't do the right thing and should have been a little bit more conscientious and thought-provoked about the amount of Native Americans he was going to rain the hell down upon and going to try to massacre. And what happened? Who got massacred? Whose last stand is it? Okay, it's not Sitting Bull's last stand. It's Custer's last stand. And it just I just said, well, Custer wasn't too bright about things. And you're being insulting to the memory of those who died. And it's like, well, you can't change history, man. I said, it's a fact what happened and how it happened. And I said, Custer was a hero. I said, really? He goes, it's an insult to the 7th, I said, 7th Cavalry. And he goes and he said, to present day servicemen. And I said, where the fuck do you come up with that crock of crap? I said, really? I said, I think they study in all that little, battle there at the Little Bighorn at West Point. I said, and I don't think they have the hubris to believe that Custer's idea that he in any way and shape and form could have gotten anything but what he got because it was overwhelming powers against him and the numbers were all off. And they teach that in West Point for things of you do not put yourself in a position where you are going to suffer extreme losses and catastrophic endings. And he couldn't handle it. I said, you keep your shit show to yourself. You can believe what you want to believe because you're on a diluted view of what's happened and how the military is like this and that about the Native Americans. I said, I said, that's great. I said, but unfortunately, you can't change history. And Custer killed himself. And that's where I left it. So the hero who saw, and I'm sorry, yes, he killed himself because he was a bad, stupid putz. And he realized he had done himself wrong. Not to mention him, but all of the entire command that were under him. And that's what's so sad is it's that kind of thinking that he didn't think enough to say, something? Fuck this. I'm not going to attack. Let's get the fuck out of here and get reinforcements. A lot of them. A huge amount. And if you got those Gatling guns, if you're going to do something and you're going to do that, and this is not to endorse what he did, because I think what he did was wrong, but the idea that he didn't have the sense to think about what I'm doing. And it goes into showing you, and this is how it plays into AI. We don't know what we're dealing with AI. And just like Custer went upon the hill and looked down upon the encampment and got big and bright about what he's doing, we're doing the same fucking thing with AI. And the worst part is, kids in colleges, they said, are starting to cheat with AI, Chat GPT. And I'm going, and what did you think they were going to do? Not use that? Not look for a skirt away around doing the hard work that needs to be done because it has to be done? And the kids, they go, we don't have that. You're reading books and stuff. It's like, Reading means you have to do the work, either it be on the television, your computer, in a book, in notes. It's the same shit. And we're doing the same thing as Custard. And that's what I feel and see. And people fail to realize that that's something that is apparently upon us. Forget the ghosts. The ghosts are like you're worried about us. Because you got a nightmare building in your own fucking backyards and in your homes and all of your gosh darn equipment. And you're worried about ghosts. Anyways, look, it's been a great night. I didn't want to get off the AI thing, but since I just watched that 2 nights ago, and I watched another report the other day, and I read up about it, and I started saying, oh my God, this is really happening. But I said, I had a feeling something like this was going to happen, and I mentioned it a few years ago when people were talking about it, going, it's a human being creation. It's going to have its flaws just like a human being, and it's going to behave and act just like a human being. And guess the hell what? It is. It's acting just like a human being would, and not in the best, most altruistic ways. That's the problem. If an imperfect creature creates an object, it can't be perfect. And that's just a fact. So just take that to bed with you guys tonight. It's already goddamn 10:39. Wow, late in the evening, and I've been up for 3 hours and 6 minutes. God help me. And I got a whole day tomorrow with this whole event here. I've got to set up the equipment. I've got to set up the house. I got to clean up the house, set up the house. I got to set up my brain. Do me a favor, guys. For those of you that are watching, go look at the description and spread the word about tomorrow night and the event. The live stream, it's $5 for 6 hours. It's less than $1 an hour, and it's going to be high quality, so you'll enjoy it. It won't be like this. The feeds will be from the cameras, such as this camera here. See that camera? You see that camera there? And all 30 cameras throughout the house. It might be 31 for tomorrow night, but they're going to be the feeds. So that's why it's a live feed, and that's why it's $5. It's to cover the expenses, because it's a little. I'll turn this the fuck off. I don't need to have my blue ball going off. Not in the mood. And you're off. I have to charge you. And you're off. But that's what it is. And look, let's be honest. $5. I'm sorry if you can't afford it. I don't have any way. It's been done through American Ghost Tours, American Ghost Walks, and they're running it. But like I said, if you can afford $5 for the 6 hours tomorrow night, we have Scott Michaels that's going to be involved. Got a lot of other people that are going to be here too, plus the people that are here on the investigation. I think there's 12 or 14 people total. It's a limited group. It's small out of respect. So you guys have a good night. Hey, Steve, how are you? All right, I'll start reading what the hell is. 140 PJ. All right, PJ, get to bed. 10 hints. Let's check it out. I'll try to look at that, JC. Why don't you come tomorrow night if you're interested in person, since it'll be a small crowd. Hey, Shannon, less than $1 per hour. Yeah, there's 5 hours. It's 6 hours. It goes from it. Yeah, the event goes from 8 to 1, and this live stream goes from 7 to 1. So it's going to be very interesting for the first hour, just me, trying to set up and talk to you guys and set it, But then Scott Michaels comes, and I've got some other people that are going to show up, some special guests, and who knows, we might have some other people that'll drop by as well. Well, the right people, I hope, of course. Thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. Thanks, PJ. I appreciate it. Get a good night's sleep. Teresa says, buying my online ticket. Thanks, Teresa. I appreciate it. And by the way, I want to end tonight like I did. All right. This is a reference to when Scared and Impaired was here. And we were sitting here. And there's all these, there's like, how many? It's like eight of us, I think. And I'm sitting here because I'm sitting in the same chair, and I'll never forget it. It was the funniest thing. I went into an improv bit about opening the veil. So I'm going to do a repeat of that because I thought it was so amusing. Well, we're here at the Oman house. And no, this is a character. So just stop. Just focus. I'm doing a character now. I'm doing a psychic that's got a whole big production involved and dealing with the spirits. So I want to just do this as a joke, as a goof. whatever. Well, hello, spirits. We're all here. We're very nice to see you all tonight. We want to open the veil. I'm going to go take my head, put it in the veil, and look around. Ew, that's pretty ugly. I'm sorry. We're going to close the veil and just say goodnight. That was just disgusting. I did not like that. It was just not tasteful. And oh, God, it just reeks. My God. Almost like queef. Oh, God damn. Oh, never going to do that veil opening again. Crap. Oh, shit, I heard a bark. With that, I must be off. There's a spook or a spirit of a dog upstairs. No, there's Reggie's upstairs. I got to feed him. In any event, I hope you enjoyed that little humorous bit about the over-dramatized individuals that go, oh, fuck, we'll go upstairs. Fine, I'll take them upstairs and close it out up there. All right, we're going to go upstairs and close. We're going to close where we started. All right, look. All right, crap. Let's do this. Come on. We're going to close this. Right. All right. This comes upstairs. You stay here. You stay there. All right. Let's go. All right. So what did you guys say was the last things you said? Parking. Again, the parking. It's all, everything is explained. JC, everything's explained in the tickets where you park, because nobody's coming up here to park up here. That's not happening. That we don't do. We don't have people park here because I have respect for my neighbors. Maybe, but you don't think so, but I do. So what we're going to do is stop ringing, damn it. We have a location where we give you to go. We have a shuttle bus that'll pick you up and bring you up and then take you down. Ooh-wee. Wow. Whew. It's just crazy energy at the bottom of the stairs, which sometimes happens. But like I said, we're going to you'll get the address, where to park and all that stuff when you get your ticket. And that's how it works. That way it's a lot easier. And that way we don't have a confusion of people driving up here, looking around and trying to get in, muscle the way into the house. So, excuse me. All right. I heard you. I'm not deaf. I'm not dumb. I'm not blind. I'm just a messy man doing fine. How much battery power is left? Oh, wow, we're down on battery. Shit. Ooh. Let me do this. So, again, this movie is mine. It's my movie. It's for rent on Vimeo. That's right. You can go to Vimeo. I'll give you the link. The link's in the gosh darn description, but here's a scuttlebutt about me. Don't forget to get yourself a copy of the book. And again, for those that are visiting here in person tomorrow night, the book is a complimentary signed, inscribed gift to you for coming and being a part of tomorrow night. It's late and I'm seeing things out of the corner of my eye going, what the hell was that? So again, share with your friends, come to the live stream, and have a very good night. And a wonderful evening and a wonderful morning for those of you across the USA and across the globe. Yeah, no, JC, of course. I mean, Jay, again, it's all there. We have it set up with them. Again, this is their event, so. Les, the next time I go live, it won't be a timeout for an hour. It'll just be not on the stream. You don't have a pinch of respect when you post that crap, Happy dreams, because I think you might find yourself dealing with a few spirits that are from here that might not be so happy with your commentary. And that's a hell of a lot better than me having to say two more words about it, since it's them who you're insulting and not I. So with that said, yes, thanks, Teresa. The movie is good. Again, you guys have a good night. Oh, fuck. All right. I promise. I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I don't read one short story out of the scary book. The scary book? The Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book. I'm short. I'm very short. All right, I got a good song. I got a good story to read to you guys. It's a shorty but a goodie, I have a feeling. Thanks, Dorothy. I look forward to seeing you two tomorrow night, or you seeing me tomorrow night, since that's well, it's by the way, I don't know how the system works with the chat line. This is totally open, remember. And remember, if you're on the event, oh shit, that's a fucking so much. I'll have to get somebody to be the chat moderator that'll cover it. But I'll give a list of names, and I said anybody that looks squirrely or behaves squirrely, you have my permission to block. So if he wants to do that tomorrow night, they'll definitely not let that shit slide. So Les. Well, then I guess Les won't be online. And no Les, the only people that are entering the house are the people that are paying the tickets and the staff from American Ghost Walks. Sorry. So no, there's not going to happen. Les, like I said, it won't matter. How many? I think two bouncers covering the event. Bouncers. Well, they have security. They don't have bouncers. They call them security, but same difference. Les, that'll make it so much easier, so I can give the description of yours to the security to make sure that they keep an eye out for you and send you your best. Oh yeah, by the way, I can guarantee you that the neighbors, especially the one who owns the property where the murders took place, will definitely pretty much have some security of his own out there, because I overheard my neighbors say, oh yeah, we heard there's going to be security out there tomorrow night because of the event. It's like, oh, really? She goes, oh yeah. It's like, terrific. I mean, that's not mine. That's not American Ghost Walks. That's for the people that live nearer to the gate than I do. And the people that live in the house there anyway. So Les, you're not too smart, are you? When a man has a house up for sale for some $80 million at one point, and has is very well connected, where he's got it so connected that if he calls the police, they're here within seconds. Okay? You have no fucking clue what you're thinking and what you're babbling about. Just remember that. You fuck around with somebody that owns that kind of property and has that kind of backing financially, you are looking down the barrel of a pain in the ass you don't want to deal with. So I'm just telling you, mind your P's and Q's. Because in the real world, outside of the reality that you live in online, these people don't play games. They're serious about their privacy. And on this evening, on tomorrow night, they're extremely conscientious of what the hell they are in the midst of. So don't think that you're going to make these statements to me and I'm going to give a shit, because I don't care. But I'm telling you now, if anybody tries that, the people that are closer to the gate than I am, they really get sensitive around this time of year. Hey, Sam. So that's why I said, be aware of what you're saying and be very careful, and don't give anybody ideas. So, Les, I don't care. That's you're dealing with somebody that's more. Put it this way. I'm not saying I wouldn't, and I live here. So just remember that if I'm a little bit nerve-wracked by the presence of power, you bet yourself you best be clearly aware that there's a good reason for that sensation in my brain and how I feel about him. So God. Yeah, well, Les, let me give you a little 411 since you happen to be on the wrong end of intelligence right now because you're quite mistaken. You see, Les, this is a private drive. You see, Les, there's a thing about breaking and entering or trespassing on a private drive where people that are super, 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 super well-to-do, not me, mind you, but where lives, you have no rights. Okay? You have no rights to be up here to begin with. The second you walk onto the property and you start trespassing up here and you get close to near there, he doesn't play games. He doesn't like it. Especially around the anniversary. I've seen, and they do not fuck around. And I have a bad feeling that it's going to be tomorrow night that they're going to do it because I have a feeling it's just not going to be one of those events, those evenings when he's just going to sit by. And I can guarantee you, in the time I've lived here, I don't remember a single 8th and 9th of August where there hasn't been at least 1 to 2 to 5 security guards at the end of the driveway, just sitting there in cars waiting to basically tell people to get the hell out of here, that it's private land, it's a private drive, they have no business here. If they don't have a business here, they either get out or they'll be escorted out forcibly. And you know something? He's got every right to do that. You got a goddamn fucking property you spent, a good chunk of change on, a couple, 20, 30, 40, $50 million on. Yeah, I think he's going to be a little bit protective of it, and I don't blame him. So I don't think you would want to be dealing with them. And they don't like to be dealing with people that are, especially people that are, a little curious to the eye. So just remember that. Les, his guys don't give a shit. I had a few years ago, we had the news crew up here for the 50th, and boy, the security was there's like 10 of them there. And boy, were they fucking tough. And they were like, no, you're not going to walk. I was like, all right, fine, but I live here. No, you can't. I was like, I better live here. He said, yeah, well, you live there, not there. And I was like, I'm not stupid enough to go freaking get involved with a hassle with a bunch of security people. So like I said, he doesn't care for it. So, all right, I'm going to get going. No, Teresa, see, this is what people have a problem with. When I basically give information, the facts, to people that think that they're so smart and they're going to do, I'm not giving them anything they don't, or that you think they want. I'm telling them the facts. Why do I have to feel bad about telling him what could happen when he comes up here? Why not? It's a warning to others because it's not me doing it. It's those that have bigger fucking bank accounts than I do. And they have balls bigger than mine and can crush me in a second. If they can crush me and I live on the goddamn block, just consider the fact that what they could do to you guys that don't live on the block, or the people that would be thinking that on this night I'm going to come up here and do this, because in his mind, it's not the fact that they're the innocents coming up here, innocent people are coming up in the fans. It's the question of the 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of a percent of people that are lunacidal enough to think that they're going to think that in their head, there's a deluded belief that they're going to recreate the murders or do something on the same property on the same anniversary and derive some sense of celebrity from it. Okay? That's the problem. And he doesn't like the idea because he thinks that, yeah, it's possible. And if it's going to be a possibility, it could be this night, if not any other night. Why not? So that's why. That was my point. Yeah, it's not an invasion of privacy, but there have been years when we've seen a throng of people, around 40 people, walk up the driveway in silence, go up to the gate, spend 10 minutes there, put flowers at the bottom of the gate, and then turn around and walk away in silence. that's not, it's just weird. I remember that, and I was watching them and going, and there's not a word said. It's all silence, and they're all dressed in black. So it's a really trippy view and experience. So. No, Teresa, it's not acknowledgement. Teresa, if somebody throws a stone, are you supposed to sit there and ignore it? You can ignore it all you like, but in my estimation, it is far better to assail the assailant than it is to let them continue and throw stone after stone after stone after stone, because in ignoring them, all you're doing is creating a greater dynamic of frustration on their end. And what happens is they get worse. They get more revved up, as my mother would say. So if you acknowledge them and you deal with them, you're nipping in the bud, you're acknowledging their existence, you're respecting their existence by telling them what you're telling them. And it's not any type of a ass kiss or a lessening of my personal belief or myself by doing so. Why? Because it's disengaging, and it's also giving them information to think about. And that, at the end of the day, is the benefit of not ignoring, because ignoring somebody just makes them get more riled up. So I do things by gut instinct. I do things out of instinct, not gut instinct, but out of a sense of what's going to work best to kind of diminish the situation. No, it's not. No, Teresa, I understand what you're saying. Trust me, I know. Yeah, thanks, JC. I was. When did you go? Hold it, Dave. Heather says, when you go, are you coming back to Heather? I appreciate the question, but how the hell am I supposed to know where, what, why, how, and when, that happens? Look, honestly, remember the first Beetlejuice movie, okay? Just stop right there for a second, for a minuscule second. Think about the dynamic of that story. They built the house, they created their love home, their love nest, they died, they came back to the house, and of course, their house was totally demolished. That, as they said, as Alec Baldwin said, I think this is hell. And then she says, no, hell, because I forgot what the response was. I think this is hell. There must be so much dust. My point is that that's part of the situation. It makes, I would not, honestly, since my father and I built this house, and I was thinking about this today, that he also built the house I grew up in. And I had this weird type of a dream that I remembered going back to visit my parents' house after my father sold it and after he passed away. And I went in the house, and I just remember seeing things that I was just going, well, the first thing I saw was they took out the gosh darn 50-foot fiddle leaf ficus that existed there for 60 years before I was born. It was built around the house. It was a small plant. It was only 4 feet tall, but it grew through the house and inside the house, and it was beautiful. It was one of the most incredible, unique pieces of style to the house. It had a tree inside of it. And it wasn't just a small tree. It was a huge tree that grew out of a plant that was 3 feet by a foot wide. And they took that out. And then when I went to my sister's bedroom and my bedroom, we had bedrooms that were next to one another. They took the gosh darn closet, which this I still can't fucking believe. They put a 3 foot by 3 foot cutout in the closets, because the closets backed up to one another. So here's my sister's closet, here's my closet, and there's a wall in between. They cut out a 3 foot hole in the base of the closet so that the kids could go from one closet to the other. Basically, instead of having to go around either in the front of the gosh darn thing from one door room to the other door room, or going through the shared bathroom. No. These people decided to cut a 3 foot fucking hole in the gosh darn thing, so in the closet, so the kids could. I go, I don't know who these people are or who did that, but I was like so blown away by these people. What kind of person does that? And then I said they took the acoustic ceiling off and they ripped that. It's just I done. No, Heather, no. I couldn't give a rat's ass who the new owners would be. And again, it goes back to the reality of Beetlejuice. How would you feel if that what you created got shit on? I mean, my parents had a house in San Diego, and I found my friend says, "Hey, I just saw your parents' house in Del Mar." I said, "Oh yeah?" He goes, "He sent me a picture." My jaw dropped and I cried. And I said, "Yeah, well, the house was a nice little rustic little house that was on the beach that they got 50, 60 years ago, whatever. And it was a dinky little house, and it sat on a nice piece of land. So what the hell happened? My sister sold it like 14 years ago now. Jesus Christ. I forgot how it can't be 14. Dad died 13 years ago. To me, it's 10 years ago. And whoever bought it tore the little ransacked shack that it was down, and they built a concrete mausoleum on it on the beach. And I was like, and I looked at the address and I said, yeah. I looked at the houses to the left and right. They were the same. I was going, oh shit. Look what they did to the beach. Look what they did to that house that my dad had built. It was just a little rinky dink. One story. It's now 2 or 2.5 stories with balconies and big this. And I said the whole goddamn property, which was like this, the house was like this. And so the entire property was now just big concrete behemoth there on the sand. And I was like, yeah, the same thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't care. It's not going to make you feel any better as a spirit. So what's the point of doing it? So with that said, Jace did the same thing. The evening story is sounds. The house was near the beach. It was a very old place where nobody had lived for years. From time to time, somebody would force open a window or a door and spend the night there, but never long. 3 fishermen caught in a storm took shelter there one night. With some dry wood they found inside, they made a fire in the fireplace. They lay down on the floor and tried to get some sleep, but none of them slept that night. First they heard footsteps upstairs. It sounded like there were several people moving back and forth. But when one of the fishermen called, "Who's up there?" the footsteps stopped. And then they heard a woman scream. The scream turned out into a groan and died away. The blood began to drip from the ceiling onto the room where the fisherman huddled. The small red pool formed on the floor and soaked into the wood. A door upstairs crashed shut, and again the woman screamed. "Not me!" she cried. It sounded as if she was running, her high heels tapping wildly down the hall. "I'll get you!" a man shouted, and the floor shook as he chased her. Then silence. There was a sound until the man had shouted. Until it was silence until the man had began to laugh. Long petals of horrible laughter filled the house. It went on and on until the fishermen thought they were going mad. When it finally stopped, the fishermen heard someone coming down the stairs, dragging something heavy that bumped on each step. They heard him drag through the front hall and out the front door. The door opened, and then it slammed shut. Again, silence. Suddenly, a flash of lightning filled the house with a green blaze of light. A ghastly face stared at the fishermen from the hallway. Then came a crash of thunder. Terrified, they ran out into the storm. End of story. In any event, I've been on for 3.5 hours. So it was only supposed to be 1 hour, and I was supposed to clean the house and get the place ready and get the things, all the equipment. I'm done. I'm over. I'm finished. Thank you very much for spending the night with the Oman at the Oman house. And be good and be well and be happy. And by the way, spread the word to your friends about tomorrow night and the event. Thank you very much. Let me see. I'll catch up with some of these things. Son of the Morning Star was great. Son of the Morning Star. I don't remember that. You like that one, Jay? I thought that was a good. This book. I fucking love this book. I mean, I do. That's also the compilation of all 3 books is one, but it's a great book. I've never ever been disappointed with any of the stories that I've read out of that book, and I've read almost 50% of the stories in the book, and I love them. They're just great work. Yeah, of course, Jay. I feel it's become a trademark of my on live streams. I always end up reading a story, and it's like when I don't, I feel like, oh God, I forgot to read a story from the book. Problem is what am I going to do when I end up with no more stories from the book? Because that book has got great stories. I'm sorry. So in any event, I'm out of here. True. Well, the problem is, and people sit there and say, well, the Native Americans were fighting amongst themselves. I was like, so fucking what? I laugh. I go, you mean that of the 5,000 different tribes across America, they were fighting amongst themselves, and that somehow justifies you coming in as a white man with advanced technology to try to take their lands from all 5,000 goddamn tribes and take the United States over and make it your own? That's somehow justification that might serves right? Or is it more like we make promises to break them, America? And I'm talking about during the the Native American days from 17. I forgot when the first Native American treaty was. I was just watching something about the History Channel about Lewis and Clark, and it was talking about the different. It was eight. It was around this. Thank you. It was pre Revolutionary War, and the idea that we basically, and I say we Americans, and those Americans back in those days, 100 my ass, that's so 250 years ago, maybe a little more, made promises, the old saying goes, you can't keep, or that you weren't going to keep, and you basically, you spoke with forked tongue, okay? You lied. And I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm not a purist, and I'm not a Native American apologizer for what I'm just saying that it was wrong. It was purely wrong. I'm sorry. There has to be some sense of respect and responsibility and integrity in your word. And if you can't do that, don't gosh darn offer a treaty to go screw somebody over, because that to me is just, as they used to say, you're being an Indian giver, which is irony, because when you say that, the Native Americans go, what do you mean? He goes, no, we're talking, it's like, that's a way of saying you offer them this and you give them bupkis. You take it away. You give them something and then you take it back. And it's funny that the term Indian giver is like, but who were the ones screwing the Indians that were doing that exact term of Indian giving? The U.S. government, multiple times and multiple treaties given. And to me, I'm sorry. The Trail of Tears happened, and it's a fact, and it should be historically noted and shared. And look, I'm sorry. Right is right, wrong is wrong. When you do something, you got to say that was a pretty shitty thing to do. And you might find it's hard to admit, but let's be honest. Better to admit the facts and the truth of what took place and own up to it than to lie and to continue to perpetrate a lie and try to change history and erase history. Stupid. So with that said, Oman out. Have a good night. Sleep well. You too. I'm going to be here doing, Yeah, he was. Heather, you're right about that. Weeze, what did you say, you putz? Who doesn't fight amongst themselves? Well, but like I said, the Native Americans were on a level playing field. They didn't have a lot of high advanced technology. So those that did, which were the white people, the settlers, basically, so that was that. So that's what it was. It's unfortunately the way that man has always worked. And when you start, and by the way, to wrap this and tie this back up to AI, if that is the fact, as you said there, Weeze, what the hell do you think AI is going to do when it decides that it's the superior and we are their inferior? Don't forget what they used to say. What seeds you sow today will bring you a healthy, happy harvest tomorrow. Or in this case, a questionable harvest. Don't be so gosh darn guiled by that which you think is to your benefit and turns out to be to your greatest detriment in the erasing of us. Just think about it. Teresa, thanks, Heather. Everybody, Annie. Yeah, Well, yeah, Annie, that was because they didn't have an immune system to deal with smallpox. As they called it back in the day, it wasn't smallpox, it was called the pox. Just the pox. POX. And yes, they did give them infected blankets to the Native Americans that were freezing during the winter, and it basically infected them and killed them. So yes, it was germ warfare and the first usage thereof, or one of the earliest forms of germ warfare by a modern, society against another. Genghis Khan did it when he sat there and, sacked different. They used dead corpses to be launched over the ramparts of cities to infect the cities inside, and that's how people died. They conquered a lot of city states in the day. They basically, had people they purged and used bubonic plague as a test, as a whatchamacallit, as a biological weapon. So as these launched these catapults or trebuchets, it's a launch vehicle, a siege vehicle, and they threw these bodies into these walled cities. And they said there were descriptions. I was reading from one of the accounts. It was absolutely horrific. They said through the air came screaming such a sound they didn't understand. They looked up and they said, coming from the sky, it was this huge, bloated, disgusting, rotting corpse. And they said it hit the ground with such a thunderous, thunderous force that it exploded, and basically it splattered human remains all around the center of the square, in the middle of this walled city. And they said the stench was horrendous, and people within days were being infected by the plague, and it spread like that. And that was horrible. Like I said, you have to know that you know it before you let somebody else start to tell you about it, as an AI is going to do. Anyways, go out there, share this event with all your friends, and let's get this thing going. And I will see you tomorrow night. Have a great night. Oman out.